Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to another monthly final of the Brawl Stars Championship. My name is Tridd, and I'm being joined by Ark for the first round of games. How are you doing today, friend?
Doing good, doing very well. Thank you for asking. Very early here in the UK, but yeah, feeling fresh and very excited to see a brand new meta. We had a balance change just a few days ago, a brand new update in the game. So players have been frantically practicing and trying to work out what is going to give them the upper hand today. But these are the brawlers on the screen right now with the highest percentage pick rate as well as win rate. So this is definitely a good place to start.
Yeah. No surprise there for my main man, Gene, still in the top spot, but looking further down the list as well. I'm keeping an eye on BB this month, Ark. Recently had a slight nerf to the HP pool, may affect the pick rate, because we're seeing a lot of playtime, especially in the last month, and we can just get this garbage off the screen right now. We don't need to stay on this any longer.
What are you talking about, Tridd? Immortus the Invincible has currently got 100% win rate in the competitive scene. So you don't want to be that player who tries to continue that meme and ruins it for everybody.
Well, it will eventually fail. Mortis has been getting a lot of value in just being a unexpected pick that's shutting down a lot of comps that just aren't prepared for the Mortis pick. One thing you're noticing there, new leaderboard. We've had China join the ranks of the Brawl Stars Championship after the game was released officially in the region quite recently, and it's TIG, Infinity, and Origin who are topping the table, as well as the newly anointed Nova China.
Yeah, I cannot wait to see what China brings to the table. It's fantastic to see the game just kind of reaching new borders as well. So only a fantastic thing for the esports and Brawl Stars as a whole. Going back now to the APAC region, we see PSG dominating in first place, but Jupiter very shortly behind them. And PSG, worthy to note, are inches away from qualifying and guaranteeing their spot in that grand final. So definitely wanting to capitalize today, and Jupiter's going to be doing everything they can to stop them from doing that.
And a huge welcome to SK Miracle, who have renamed from Team Apto. So the SK organization picked up another team, but this time the Korean Team Apto, to compete under their name. So they will take over the points, as the points are attached to the players, not specifically the team. So there was enough of them to carry forth their points. They will still retain them moving forward.
Yeah. SK Gaming obviously looking to branch out in the Brawl Stars scene, and again, only a fantastic thing for the game. But today's matches are going to consist first and foremost of PSG versus Jupiter, and then we're going to see PSG versus SK Miracle, and then to finalize things, it'll be SK Miracle versus Jupiter.
And then that will wrap up the APAC region, and stick around afterwards, we'll move over to Europe. But as Ark said, our first matchup is PSG Esports versus Jupiter. Jordan, Kudiace, Rely, Scythe. These guys have been dominating so far when it comes to their matches. We've got Jupiter as well, who had an impressive performance in last month's final, Ark.
Yeah, and it's worth pointing out as well that PSG didn't have a great qualifier this month. They didn't actually make it through to next month's monthly finals, so Jupiter did. So, PSG definitely need to make the most of today, because they're not going to be able to benefit next month when it comes to points.
Yeah, like I said, Jupiter as well, they're going to be their opponents in it. PSG were on the cusp of qualifying for a world final spot. The only real team that's come that close right now, they are the closest towards doing that purely because they've just been so dominant from the off, and we've seen a couple of teams drop in and out. Jupiter, Tensai, Milgrayo, Hagego, they're all here ready to go ahead and throw down. And they had a bit of competition last month when it came to other Japanese teams getting in their slot of dominance that they usually occupy, but they managed to get themselves to a position where they can compete here as the Lone Star Japanese team.
Yeah, two of the most consistent teams competing. I think that is the thing, that is the key for me, is consistency is so important. And we're seeing consistency here with two Sprout bans straight off the bat for both teams. Interesting, because Sprout did just receive a pretty sizable nerf. So obviously something which these two teams are still kind of fearing on the battlefield.
Yeah, I think it's a case of the nerfs maybe weren't strong enough at the professional level of play to justify not using that ban on Sprout. I think maybe the balance is fine for more casual, the more wider spread players, but maybe there's something in the pros that they just still think needs a little bit of tuning down, but they'll always differ from what's actually good for the overall health of the game, I always find. But we're jumping into game number 1 to kick things off. We got no Sprout on the board, but there's some Gale in the matchup, Mark.
This is what I was going to say. That Gale, for me right now, speaking to a couple of pros, is definitely a brawler which right now people are struggling with. But it is worth as well pointing out that brawler bans do go over the course of all of the maps. So a lot of these maps might cater specifically towards Sprout. And an early takedown there from Gagos, getting a lot of damage early on with Max. Max is in a great place as well, meta-wise.
Absolutely, and also looking fly as hell right now with the streetwear skin that was recently released, as well as they get on to the safe and start dropping that down to 66% HP. We got 38% for the side of PSG, so Jupiter have a clear lead here. They're trying to deflect away the attack, but Hegego's going in right with the super to get in range. You can close it out right here, Ark. He's got the damage. They're trying to force him away with the Gale. He's so close! And Hegego will seal round number 1 for the side of Jupiter.
Yeah, a bit of a miss there, I felt, from side, just kind of opting to leave Hegego uncontested there in that gadget dash, just providing enough distance to seal the deal early on. Very quick round for both of these teams, but yeah, I think PSG gonna have to be a little bit more cautious, you know, when it comes to the next round, so to not leave those players to get that damage on that save.
Yeah, maybe play a little bit more defensively as we jump into round number 2. It's about 20 seconds away, so still seat by. We're going to keep the games coming fast. We always like to see that here. No breaks on the no breaks on this train in particular. Unless, of course, I start stuttering. That's the only time it slows down.
Well, this is the thing, Tridd. It's early morning for us. We're doing our best. But look out as well. It's going to be said for the Gale gadgets, because you know, that will open up a lot of doors. That bounce pad being able to be positioned anywhere on the map in any direction can provide a lot of options for teams to just completely rush in, getting that distance and obviously height over any boundaries below. I think that's going to be a really interesting mechanic to see more used in esports for sure.
Scythe just absolutely deleting anyone who comes near him now. Tensai is able to clear him up, but I imagine Kudier is going to be able to catch up and chase him down. Does leave him a beeline to the safe. The respawns need to come in to try and stop that damage. So will they try and work towards equalizing the damage they've already received so far?
Yeah, and also worth pointing out a great double kill that left-hand side from JK there as well. And now look at this, Kuda Ace. This is a great opportunity for PSG if they can keep this damage rolling in. Tensei trying to tank some of these shots, but only really providing more firepower for PSG here. So
they're leaving Milcreo on the back line though, so they need to do this fast, otherwise they'll just lose. And it looks like they're going to be able to do it. Scythe trying to go in for the killing blow. It's at 5%. This is disastrous for Jupiter. They need a huge counter attack, otherwise they're just going to end up losing Ark.
Yeah, 1% now as well, not looking good for Jupiter. It's got to be over, but I mean, 39% is doing.
Look, he's going for the jump pad.
Gale catch him for the win. There it is. Getting those clutch final moments with Gale, I think, is going to be something that I think it's going to be very interesting to see develop more and more.
Well, it's a great use of that one to get themselves down the map fast to get that final blow in before a counterattack could be mounted. So PSG will tie out the map straight over the top of Hegego just to get that done. It only need one tap at that point, so it's easy pickings for Scythe.
Yeah, a good comeback for PSG, and now just looking to do the same again, really, but Jupiter had a really good first game on this map, so it could go either way now at this point in time. I think throwing a few brawlers that have not been played yet could be a good strategy to give yourselves the upper hand here.
Well, no real adaptation for both of these teams. They're still sticking with the Brock. They've actually brought out the Colt for Tensai, who they're still keeping with it. Who's a removed Kudi Ace. That means the right-hand side's going to open up for him to get in, and no one can get to attack him. This is a great position to hold on this map if you're able to get in there. And Creo's going aggressive. Look at the dominance from Jupiter. They're just going to commit everything to this push, and they drop it down to 14% in one go.
My goodness me, that was a very strong push. We've only had like 30 seconds of the game and already looking bleak for PSG. We're going to have to hold if they're going to be able to stop this damage raining down.
You've got Scythe, who's putting down jump pads, jumping around everywhere. You've got Brox, who are able to traverse over walls as well. There's no obstacle that's going to stop these teams from getting a line of sight on the safe and dealing damage other than each other.
This is it, and look at this.
There you go, Milcreo.
Milcreo jumping in, but shut down really nicely.
It was just a bait.
I don't think it can hold on though. Yeah,
no,
it's gonna be it.
So it's just the bait for Tensai. You draw the attention with the Brock going over. You need to shut him down, but then no one's keeping an eye on Tensai from the off angle, and he had clear line of sight on the safe. Jupiter gonna walk away with map number 1.
Yeah, and also great to see Colt having a bit more of a place in esports. Colt is a very tricky pick of a brawler, mainly due to the fact that it's a very, very high skill cap brawler. So this map just brings out the best, and the gadget just shows how devastating that brawler can be when left untouched on a safe.
Have a look at the stats. PSG were able to be the superior damage dealers, but not when it came around to dealing damage to the safe, unfortunately. Jupiter had that by quite a handed advantage.
Yeah. I mean, Heist was over in a blink of an eye. So, I mean...
Yeah, I'm checking the time here, and that's, that's a fast round, or sure.
Yeah. And again, it's worth mentioning PSG are the team that really need to leave today with the points. And Jupiter have demonstrated, month on month to be, I would say, possibly one of the closest teams in terms of skill to PSG. So they need to dig deep now. They don't want to have a bad week. They need these points. They need them now. Jupiter is starting to get momentum here.
Well, we're going over to Brawl Ball for our next matchup as we're jumping into the game. Some changes coming in. Gale still ever prevalent. We've got Mr. P and Max for the side of PSG. We've also got the Carl coming in, who's had a damage boost in this last recent patch, as well as having, I believe that's another Gene on the map as well. So we love to see it.
Yeah, rocking the evil Gene skins, and great to see Carl again as well. I used to love playing Carl. He can be honestly such a great brawler for
JK.
From JK early on, putting 1 on the board then for PSG.
I have no idea what that noise I just made was, Ark. I was just caught off guard by that. Ace, he's got the ball, he's going to move around the left-hand side, passing it up there. The ball is figuratively and quite literally in PSG's court right now as they have the advantage. Going to push that over to the side and just take these fights and run down the clock of all they need to. But if you do get an opportunity, JK may go to seal the deal. Just going to pass it into the box effectively and close this net around Jupiter to restrict their movements.
Yeah, not a bad position here as well. Like getting that Mr. P super down, that new stop power as well, just rework stop power, causing a lot of problems in the pro scene. Look at that! A goal from JK. Didn't look like it might have gone in, but go in it did, and a great start for PSG.
They absolutely are not letting map number 1 phase the mark. That's the best thing. That's the best comeback we've seen from a map defeat, I think, ever. Just be able to rock in and just dominate around the Brawl Ball, just to reset the tempo and not get taken away by this.
That's a really solid point. The psychological impact of taking a loss can very much be the factor which determines whether you go on to have more losses or turn things around. So PSG showing that they want to leave that last set in the past and just focus on the present. That is definitely the way forwards here if they're going to start to bring this one back.
See if there's any changes. No, they still continue with the same comp. Milcreo moving around over to the Mr. P instead. That was the difference we didn't see them using last time, I believe. Still got the max for Tensai. They want that mobility, but Ace found a great briefcase there. Go ahead and get a double kill. Tensai very low. They need to get that away. Gale pushed them off to the side. It's an open goal for PSG, and they're taking their time. They know they had that one in the bag. 2 minutes remaining, and already PSG in the lead once again.
Yeah, they're popping the emote as well, the little smile of, that was maybe supposed to go in. But, and yeah, that's another thing to mention is that now that emotes are in the game, I can't wait to see where the players...
Oh, the BM.
Yeah, I can't wait to see how that affects things competitively. And Jupiter here looking to pocket the ball and then get it out, going straight for that goal. Yeah, drawing things up here nicely.
Well, they're going to equalize it nicely. Great to see Jupiter fighting back as well. They're going to be holding down the middle. Scythe Just keeping him at range with the Gale right now. Tensai going to dash in and get rid of the Porter dispenser, but he's very low. 46 HP. Will get away. Great pull by Gene. Pulls him in. Creates a man advantage for Jupiter, but they still need Tensai to get his health back. It's basically a 2v2 until that happens.
Yeah, JK Jordan needs to get his super and just be able to get his teammates into a bit of a speed boost and advance up here if they're going to get this one in the bag. The super going down as well on both sides should allow a little bit of covering fire here.
Oh, Mr. P's. The Empowered's fighting each other right now, using that gadget to make sure they can win out the duel. They're both, like, playing their cards effectively on that one. Jump pad over the top. They've destroyed the cover. Somehow Syph is in the goal without the ball, and it's opened up for him to go with the super shot. And PSG will take both rounds of Brawl Ball.
What a great play from Syph with the Gale gadget there. Just using it to get behind the opponents, and yeah, a fantastic display of how to do it. And yeah, great to see PSG on the comeback now then.
It's amazing. Look at that, straight over the top, behind the goal line at the same time. That's actually a huge problem. The cover was being broken down by Hagego, trying to force the issue by pulling in that Mr. P. Broke down his own cover and cleared a line of sight. Now, I'm not saying that would have been the difference maker, but he did make it a lot easier for PSG to get that final goal.
Yeah, that was it. And yeah, just great awareness all around from PSG, who bring back a set now, leveling things up, which is definitely where they want to be. Having taken that first defeat, so now it's we got game on right here.
Game on as we head over to Minecart Madness, one of my favorite maps. The pros hate it, I love it. Well, I'm sure the viewers love it as well. Nice little bit of RNG, never hurt anyone, and the games are going incredibly fast now, Ark, as we jump into the match.
Yeah, and look at this as well. This is another update tweak that came into play, and Minecart Madness got a little bit of a tweak with the rope fence there, which you can shoot through, but you can't move through. So it acts very much like a wall in that respect, but you can shoot through it. So very interested to see how this is going to actually mix things up. Already we're going to be seeing Nani being played by Milk Rio, which I think could be for the first time.
It is the first time in a monthly final.
Yeah.
Nani wasn't available in the last monthly final, so this is the debut at this stage of the competition.
Yep. Milk Rio will be able to put that one on his CV.
First Nani at a monthly final. Well, do you know what would be even more impressive, Ark, if he was the first Nani and he was able to go ahead and get the win?
Yeah.
So that's what we're hoping for right now. They had the gem tie for the time being, but Syph is going to go ahead and scoop all of those up. I don't think Hagego has the right brawler to be going that close into a matchup, and they're going to rack away with all of those gems. Really struggling on the side of Jupiter right now as we're getting close to the countdown beginning.
Yeah. The 100% win rate for Nani is looking immediately bleak here, as PSG should be able to get 8 gems, but now Jupiter holding the mid quite firmly, might be able to start to bank a couple here, but not with Tensei going down, putting a bit of pressure on Hagego and Milk Rio to really hold firm here.
JK connects one, wants to find the second. Briefcase is just out of range, and that's the beginning of the end for Jupiter, as they will lose their gems that they have for the time being, and they need to go on the offensive to shut down JK and Syph. 10 seconds remaining. They need to get a kill, Ark.
Yeah, Nani can be a great brawler here in these situations, but without super, really not much Milk Rio can do. And oh, but hold on, down goes PSG. Tensei with takedown. The minecart stopping the pushback, and now look at this. The dream is being.
Oh no, the minecart. This time, they may have bought enough time for PSG to get in range, though. Tensai's going to go down. They're going to keep alive in the game. If Hagego could have retained those gems without going down, they may have been in a good spot. Ace, he has to try and stay alive here. If he goes down, it's going to be really hard to get anyone killed and take control of those gems. 8 seconds remaining.
I think Jupiter's skill with a few snipes there, but yeah, not the smoothest of countdowns at all. But Nani now has the 100% win rate, and that's really all that mattered from that game.
Yeah, what a swing back there from Jupiter, though. It looked like they were absolutely out of this round, but they were able to bring it back. The minecart had great presence, effectively a 4th man at times for both of these teams. So, yeah, great round of Minecart Madness. That is only round number 1, though. Still going to win another one before they can close out the map. But Nani's had a great initial debut. Want to see if we can get more impact out of that brawler as the tournament goes on.
Oh, absolutely. Nani's got some really, really fantastic mechanics, being able to effectively teleport to anywhere on the map by using Gadget alongside the supers. So, and seeking out, brawlers that are on countdown to reset that countdown as well is a really, really great mechanic for Nani and Gem Grab. But yeah, PSG will probably be kicking themselves a little bit in that game. They had a majority of control throughout that game, and definitely just need to do the same thing again, but make that countdown really count.
We have to remember, Ark, is Nani's eyes are in front of her face, which means that genetically she's a predator, and you need to be very conscious of that because she will hunt you down.
Coming in with the facts, Tridd. That's what I like to see. I'll make a note of that for my notes and be sure to spread the word.
Yeah, just keep an eye out for that. People, so very dangerous. But JK is going to get some cleanup on the right-hand side. Kudier sweeping through as well as PSG. Going to reclaim some, but not all of these gems. JK had to use his super to get out to safety and create some space between him and Jupiter.
Yeah, gotta say though, I like what I'm seeing here between Q and Jordan here. Just getting a really nice pinch on here. Tensei gonna go down as well, and yeah, again, another great round. But the question is now, oh, what that little jump from...
Oh, the teleport, going straight for JK.
What? That was a great play. Didn't quite pay off, but look out for that. PSG on countdown now, though, and I think not having Nani super here is the time that I would personally prefer to have it.
Well, what's going on the hunt? JK, amazing snipe will clear him out. Hegega is not in a good spot, neither is Milcreo. They're not going to be able to contest this one, Ark, and PSG will go ahead and equalize Minecart Madness. I just want to talk about how much value that peep got at the end. Milcreo baited out a gadget use from Scythe and then teleported to attempt to go for the kill onto JK. Nearly got it as well. One more hit would have shut down JK and killed this countdown time before it even began. I absolutely love that from Nani.
Yeah, and this is why Nani, I think, is especially having just received that really generous buff in the last balance change, a real brawler now to consider for these players. Having the ability to kind of like hit those shots with a little bit more accuracy, while still remaining keeping that brawler high skill cap. It's going to be super, super interesting when we have these clutch moments now developing, and be very, very aware of Nani on the battlefield. I think she is really, really going to mix things up.
Absolutely agree. We're going to be jumping into our final round of Minecart Madness as we decide who will go towards series points at the conclusion of this map. Seeing if there's any changes from the brawlers. We've got the Pam out on the field with the Max, the Nani still being committed, but PSG, they're going to go ahead and keep with themselves with the Mr. P, the Piper, and the Brock.
Not only is it a Pam skin, it's a holiday Pam skin, my favorite of all the skins.
Have you seen recently doing some weird stuff with this?
No, definitely not. I definitely did not cosplay that the other day in any way, shape, or form. Great to see Pam receiving a skin finally. It's been a very long time coming. I think possibly even the longest time of waiting for a brawler to receive a skin. So great to see it being rocked here for the first time in the esports scene.
Well, it looks like Jupiter have got good control over the map so far. They're able to sit in Pam's super, get themselves up to 8 gems. Tensai's got the super to get away if they need to, but they want to go for the aggression instead and even deter PSG from getting any of these gems. They're looking to close them up 10-0. Tensai will get himself pulled into the action. They're going to have to give away that 10th gem that would have been theirs, and also some territorial control over the mid as PSG are able to walk forward.
But a cracking start, though, for Jupiter. I mean, like, this is going to put them in a really great spot. If they can go 2-1 ahead of PSG, the amount of pressure that would provide them moving forwards into these sets. But Tensei running into trouble here, goes down. This could be a chance for PSG to start to claw it back with this 3-2 takedown here. KO. Oh, only just surviving there with that heal pad.
Yeah, and the great for Falcone here, the Peeps going in the hunt for JK, has to use the super to get away. Milcreo's just going to teleport point blank range, get himself eliminated immediately. Needs to be more conscious of how he's using this gadget arc. That's the second time in a row he's given his life on a very aggressive push. Tensai on the backside will get that 10th gem, and they've already found him out using the minecart as well. They're going to scoop all of those up, and Jupiter had 10 seconds on the clock to win.
Yeah, Jordan ran into a bit of problems there with the minecart, a bit of a drop of the ball, and it's definitely going to be Pam they need to go for. Hagego is actually looking quite low here. If Kute's not enough time to cancel the countdown, and that is going to put Jupiter one set ahead now of PSG at a really, really vital moment.
Going to be able to get themselves a good lead right now. We'll put up some stats from that match after some highlights, and really, I think it was about Nani, that matchup. Saw some great plays there, able to force supers, force gadgets just from its mere presence alone. But like I said, and highlighted in the match, you need to be more conscious of the gadget use and not teleport into super vulnerable 3v1 scenarios. Jupiter, despite having less damage dealt, less kills, they were able to retain the gem. So ultimately, they are the winners of that map.
Yeah, and now it's just gonna really mix things up. PSG again, like we said earlier, do need these points today, and Jupiter definitely a top contender here to stop them from doing that. PSG really needed this win. It's not out of their clutches yet, but time is ticking, and a lot of pressure going into Bounty, but maybe the chance to claw it back. In Bounty, you can be a little bit more passive if you get the lead. So I think that's what PSG will be trying to do now, is get an early lead and just kind of allow Jupiter to be more on the aggressive and allow them hopefully to capitalize on that by gaining more stars in the process.
See if they're able to pull that one off. We do love a bit of Canal Grand as well. We'll see how that works. Thankfully, Sprout's banned because it gets a lot of play on this map in particular when it's all about the chokes. What are we expecting to see here, Ark, instead? Are we expecting range, or are we going to see that more slambulance-based composition that we can see sometimes and they control the mid?
Yeah, the slambulance comp is definitely a really, really strong comp to consider. Going in with a Rosa or last meta it was a Jackie, but I don't even really feel like Jackie might be seen today. I mean, it's still kind of early days of how she's kind of like sitting in the meta, but definitely a tank, a heal comp would work well here. But I mean, we've seen Max in every game mode right now. I wouldn't even be surprised if a couple of these teams have got something of a bit of a wild card to play here, moving into what is unknown territory here.
PSG are going to keep it, and they're going to move on to the same comp as they had. Brock, Piper, and Mr. P. Already got the Gale. Jackie going to make an appearance, so maybe making you eat your words a little bit there.
I was going to say.
Commit to that one. But Mr. Milk Rayo still on the Mr. P. Bounty, early lead going over to PSG as they'll get that first frag onto Hagego.
I'm actually quite happy to see Jackie because it means that she is still viable then.
Oh, what was that? Just a double slam. Just deleted him and giving him a lead from Jupiter.
4 stars to 2. They've got to keep this lead now, but Jackie launching with Gadget, but not able to really do much on that right-hand side there. But look out for those Gale gadgets here, especially if Jupiter can get the spawn trap in play. That could be a great time to use it for Hagego.
Hagego's able to keep him away. They're deleting these brushes. It's going to make it a lot harder for Tensai to get in and deal damage without being spotted. At the moment, he's not been found out there. That damage comes in. They have a cue of where roughly Tensai is hiding. They're going to destroy more of the cover as the Porter goes hunting to give him that information as well.
40 seconds coming up to being on the clock then, and I mean, pretty much, actually 2 kills will be needed here if PSG are able to claw this one back. Tensai going down though, looking weird on the right-hand side. Kudace can finish this off. But the kill on the left-hand side happened as well against PSG, and still on the back foot here.
Tensai still moving forward. We'll clear out the Porter. We've got another dispenser ready to go. He's on the hunt for Cudi Ace. We'll find that kill and destroyed the dispenser, burning through both the super and the life bar. 10 seconds remaining. 11 stars in favor of Jupiter. Still swingable from PSG, but he needs to start getting the kills. And Tensai is just bullying Cudi Ace right now.
That is going to be over 15 stars. A dominant lead then for Jupiter in Bounty. And yeah, definitely not the start that PSG wanted. Jupiter now match point.
Yeah, they just need to win this next round and they'll be walking away with the first W of this monthly final, and it will make it all, well, they are stopping the intended progress of PSG as they move forward. Any adaptations we're expecting to see for what could be our final round of the series, Ark?
This is the thing really now is what did Jupiter do? Did they go with the more kind of like riskier approach and try to mix things up in their comp, or just try to play what they had but play it better and have a bit more of a defensive start to those games? That's the question here. So if I'm PSG, I'm probably kind of thinking, well, if we're going to change something quickly, then we're going to be going out of this set anyway. It's time to do something drastic. I think the Slam Minutes comp could be on the cards here.
We'll see if that goes down. I'm just thinking about all the changes that came into play that might potentially affect its usage. And I think, obviously, Jackie had a slight nerf on the pneumatic power, I think. So not as mobile as once was, I believe. But I can't think of anything else that would disrupt the Slam Minutes if they wanted to play it.
Yeah, I mean, Gale would be a good choice of Brawler already. That's what, at the moment, Jupiter are running. So PSG might want to consider doing the same. Gale is in a great spot right now and would be problematic. I think running a Slam Minutes against the Gale would definitely be problematic. So that's possibly why they might be considering not doing that. It might be better to consider just kind of like mirror matching the Gale in that respect.
Well, we'll find out. We're jumping into that final round right now. We'll see what's going to happen. So, Gene, Jackie, and Mr. P for the side of PSG. Jupiter, I believe, are not changing it up. They've still got the Mr. P, the Jackie, and the Gale.
Early aggression from Tensei. Gets the takedown on that right-hand side, and
JK's looking to do the same thing, though, Ark. He's on the hunt. Couldn't get to the jump pad. Couldn't get to salvation in time. And JK will hunt them down.
Yeah, but another counter return on that right-hand side again by Jupiter, still keeping hold of that lead. I've got to say, I like what I'm seeing from Jupiter here.
Tensei's going aggressive again, vulnerable, one hand side. You can't be putting the Mr. P against the Jackie like this. We see it happening on both sides. Gale using the super to deter JK. Tensei's caught off guard. There's 4 stars on the line here, and it's going to force PSG back into the lead with a 2-star lead.
And now the question is, they've got to hold on to this lead and not get too confident too soon. Yeah, this is the thing. They've got to just hold this and work together as a team and allow Jupiter to be, providing the aggression, but, getting them in positions here is where they're going to be able to capitalize. And, one death here or there, and it could just change things very quickly.
JK's in a great spot, though. He has got 5 stars, so he can't be too aggressive, but they want to get the pull in. Immediately deleted. Great combo there by QDS and Jackie. Going to warp in Tensei as well, who's trying to get out. Gale is here to try and push them into the corner and reclaim some of these stars, but they're body blocking to keep that star pull on JK alive. Tensei looking to go aggressive here, wants to cut them off. There's a super available for all members of PSG. I don't see how Jupiter are able to break this one. They've got 20 seconds to swing this back in their favor.
I've got to say that the value that Hagego got there on that right side, cycling those supers, but just not able to finalize them, did give a glimmer of hope for Jupiter. If this spawn trap goes, an entire
they have to commit, Ark. They have to go in. Tensei is nearly in a position. He's not got in soon enough, and they're just going to force him back out. They waited far too long to pull the trigger on that one, and PSG are going to stay alive in this series for now.
Yeah, for now, this is a bit of a lifeline for them, but they're going to have to really continue to fight on. Bounty can just change hands super quickly. So, getting the early lead and retaining it is so important, but also being in the position to capitalize on turning it around last minute is one of the reasons why I love Bounty so much.
Yeah, the swings that come into Bounty are amazing. Obviously, the better you're doing, the more vulnerable you are. And I think when we looked at how PSG played that, they were much more conscious of that. You saw them body blocking for JK because they knew if he went down with 6 stars, it was over. It was just going to swing back in the favor of PSG. So great presence of mind to pay attention to that and sacrifice potentially, even though they didn't, they could potentially sacrifice 2 stars to save 6. So very cognizant of that, and they were very mindful even under pressure like that.
Yeah, protect the VIP and do everything you can to keep those stars in the bank. So, yeah, it's going to allow PSG now to just kind of recollect themselves, to just breathe a little sigh of relief. If they can just get one more win in Bounty, then it will put them in a great spot and we'll be going the whole hog here.
Yeah, going out to map number 5 potentially. If we're fortunate enough after what was an incredibly fast 2 maps, we've now ended up slowing down the pace a little bit here and stretching Bounty out and potentially going the distance, which is what we love to see. Adaptations, I don't think we're going to see any. I think both teams are quite confident of them. In terms of play, I think both teams need to stop putting the Mr. P into the Jackie lane, because we see both teams just going super aggressive and getting easy kills and picking up a lot of stars to start things off.
Yeah, if you're Mr. P, the last thing you want to see is a Jackie rushing at you with gadgets. So, you know, not really much you're able to do. Basically, just you're going to be tickling her really more than anything else with those shots. So, yeah, definitely you want to be aware of that.
Yeah, Jupiter swapped out the Gale for a Brock here. Tensai was able to take out JK. That means that they are putting the Jackies in the same lanes. Scythe able to find her Gay Gold on the back line as well. They're split by the river. And the star power from QDAs will start healing up Scythe as they're moving around, but it's not enough to stop Milk Rayo from killing him. Jupiter have the lead, 6 stars to 2.
Yeah, Q now has super, the bit of a miss super from Hagege, but does break a lot of bush, and that's something to just bear in mind, that sometimes that's good use of super. Great pull from QDAs, gets the takedown as well, giving PSG just 4 stars now to 6. They need to get a takedown on Tensei, though. Here,
JK. Gonna give it the super. Tensai flips it right back at them. Great gadget to disengage from Kudiace to force them all back. You got the empowered Porter hunting them down, stopping the regen from coming in, but Kudiace's star power is going to try and eat through that instead. He's got the pull in hand, ready to go. He wants one of those targets. He's waiting for some of this cover to be here to get himself in a great position. Tensai finding one. Uses the super to get the second as Milcreo will secure it. There's 40 seconds left, and it's an 11-4 scoreline.
A devastating moment for PSG. Tensai with a double kill on the right-hand side there, and going in half more so. Only shut down there by Jordan, but it's still really looking kind of bleak at the moment for PSG. They need to hold these spawn traps and start to get these takedowns, and there's time running out here for PSG.
JK didn't want to play the guessing game, uses his super to find Tensai, who will go down as well, made himself incredibly vulnerable. There's 2 stars in it, 1 kill. We'll swing it out to a tie with 15 seconds remaining. Tensai looking to go aggressive, trying to get in range on Scythe. He wants that final down and damage, and he will get it a 15-11 scoreline with 5 seconds remaining. JK trying to get in close. The super's just out of range, and they can't stop it, Ark. That's going to be Jupiter walking away with our first series of the monthly final.
What a game of Bounty. Jupiter went the distance and made it count. Great plays, I've got to say, in that game from Tensei. So many moments where he was able to dominate that side lane, and PSG just were not able to stay as composed as they probably would have liked, but are not out today. We will see PSG play again later today, but Jupiter dominant in this early round.
They'll be playing in the final game of the APAC region. Jupiter going to have to stay on and play against SK Miracle in our next matchup. But taking a look at the stats there, Ark, PSG consistently across nearly all maps were dealing more damage than Jupiter. They just weren't able to deal it in the right place at the right time because they were falling short on objectives.
Yeah, that's the thing, and sometimes the stats can kind of vary from game to game mode, but ultimately, what matters is in Bounty, the stars. Jupiter have more. Let's head over to Falcone then to get a bit of an insight from him in this first game of today.
Now that is how we like to start a monthly finals, everyone. What an incredible match to get started. 2 of our top teams in Brawl Stars, with Jupiter taking it down with that final bounty set. But of course, it is that time. It's the time we've all come to know and love. Its MVP, and it's Milk Rayo this time from Jupiter. And who else could we pick? Who else could we pick but the player that debuted Nani in competitive Brawl Stars? This is the first time we've seen Nani in our monthly finals. As the cast has correctly said, Nani was not available last month, but here Nani was, and Nani was devastating with a combination of Nani's super with the gadget to teleport around, enabling her to bait the other players' supers on the other players' gadgets and the other players' attacks. We saw Milk Rayo do some devastating things. Later in Bounty, he switched over to Mr. P and was able to play an extremely powerful support game, taking advantage of his range, of his super, and also the splash damage from the suitcases as PSG hid together in fear, trying not to be eliminated. But that is going to be the first match of the day. Let's take a look at how that affects the bracket. Jupiter sitting on top with a 1-0 match score, 3-1 set score. PSG, it's not like them to see them at the bottom of a leaderboard, but we'll have to see how they will perform against SK Miracle a little later. And when I say a little later, I mean coming up next, as our next match is going to be PSG against SK Miracle, formerly known as Apto. So this is not a new team. You should recognize these guys. But let's get into it. PSG, Jordan, Kuda Ace, Rely, and Scythe up against Moding, Weok, Lil Giant, and Ulzies. Let's take a look at these teams and have our little fact session. Starting with PSG. Kuda Ace made some sort of deal with Cursed earlier this month about having to dye his hair pink. I don't know the details, but I gather he got out of it by changing his in-game name temporarily. Thankfully, he seems to have returned it for these monthly finals. Jordan was complaining on Twitter a few days ago about being the only person who does not have a silver skin yet. Don't worry, Jordan. I'm right there with you. Looking forward to getting one, though. Let's look at the second team. It's going to be SK Miracle. According to SK Gaming themselves, the organization, every monthly final now is do or die for this team. And they felt like it was the right thing to do to lend them a hand and support the players as they keep fighting. Unlike Jordan from PSG, Lil Giant was proudly showing off his silver Piper on Twitter the other day. Maybe that silver skin will transform into a golden one. Maybe that's what he'll spend the money from this monthly finals on. Let's find out how well they do with this next match.
Thank you very much, Falcone. I am so excited to get gearing up for this match number 2 today. We really had the clash of titans with PSG versus Jupiter, but as Falcone mentioned, this Apto squad, now named SK Miracle, is certainly gunning for the title as well. They only have half as many points on the qualifier board as PSG, but they are in it to win it.
Bands coming on the screen as well here, Woody. We've got ourselves Max and Sprout band out. Max got a lot of playtime in our first series of the day, so it doesn't surprise me that a hotly contested pick will be removed from play altogether.
Yeah, certainly not. I've seen Sprout kicked out of many a match in the Brawl Stars competitive scene, a very swingy brawler, and if you don't have the right comp to go up against him, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. Paris Saint-Germain versus SK Gaming has seen PSG take the win in the past couple of months. PSG went undefeated in May and got a 6-1 set score last month, so they were definitely expected to be far and ahead the favorites in this matchup, but with their recent loss, maybe we're seeing some cracks in their armor. It could be the time for Apto, now SK Miracle, to repeat what they did in April and come back with a big hit swinging.
Yeah, they've got to come back as well from this one, Woody. They've already dropped that first series of the day, so already looking shaky that they'll pull away with the number 1 spot from the monthly final in the APAC region. They cannot be finishing in 3rd place, though. They just can't allow that to happen.
Well, you know what? I mean, we say they can't allow that to happen, but PSG and Jupiter are so far ahead of the competition right now that even 1 month of a loss isn't going to be a big dip for them, especially since they've already made it to the big stage here. They're going to get a big chunk of points just for showing up. But yeah, you don't want to give any leeway to your opponents at all. As Falcone just mentioned, SK Miracle is really fighting hard, and they know that they have to get consistent win after win after win for these next 4 months if they want to have a shot at making one of those only 2 slots now in the Asian region for going to the World Finals.
We're getting ready to jump into that next match as soon as we can. And also, like we already mentioned, PSG will not be at our next monthly finals, Woody, as well. So they're going to have a little bit of a break for next month. They will still have to try and qualify and compete, obviously, to get into September's monthly final. But the time is ticking down for the rest of these teams to try and contend with them. And if PSG keep opening up opportunities to do so, I mean, it could end up not qualifying in the best spot they wish they could have, So they will still qualify, I imagine, but they might not get that top seed like they're wanting.
Hey, we're on the downhill slope now. Any team that's got a big point lead has got a lot to be happy about. PSG Esports at the #1 spot on the global leaderboard can afford to take a few hits on the chin here and there. You know, maybe they won't be in quite as comfortable a position, but hey, sometimes that's what you need to get the fire back in your belly to really prove yourselves once again. PSG Esports, of course, will still have this match today to see if they wind up in the middle of the bracket or down toward the bottom. Or you know what? We might still have that three-way tie. We've seen matches go crazier ways.
Well, we're about to jump into that first match, Woody. Here we go. It's PSG again, looking for a very familiar composition. They're bringing out the Carl, though, instead. And as we look over to SK Miracle, they got themselves the Carl, and they got the Gene, as well as the Mr. P.
Yeah, it looks like Ulysses is kind of useless over there on the left side lane. He's finally pushing into the middle now and getting some nice shots off. We're starting to get the collapse, though, and it's a big advantage for SK Miracle. The kill and the star claim from the center of the map. PSG are going to have to get a couple of kills to get the lead again.
Absolutely. It's 3 stars in favor of SK Miracle right now. Lil Giant off to the right-hand side, taking some pressure from Scythe. Don't want to get too close here. 1200 HP, so he's quite vulnerable. QDH won't get that final tag, so the regen will kick in time. But the Porters are now on the hunt, got the connection. Briefcase doesn't land, so he should be able to recover. JK, meanwhile, pushing up the middle onto... Oh! So close to getting the kill, and they'll find 2 as they back out.
Wow, nice job to JK there. Grabs the kill and then uses that super to retreat. Ulysses was looking awfully deadly, but he managed to stay alive. JK is going to be back in the center bushes now. Ulysses on the far side can get that bounce damage from his suitcase if he wants to try to poke over the edge there. JK is not going to get any connection, but neither will Ulysses. Advantage for SK Miracle just by 1 single star. A beautiful pull! Grabs Ulysses and pulls it all the way over. The swing of the momentum back in PSG's favor.
And Little Giant trying to go ahead there to find something of his own, but he's poked out by the Porters and a damage from Scythe, who's now going to trade out. 1 star in it between these two teams and 30 seconds remaining. Kudiace has got the hand online. He's going to be looking to pull someone if they step too far forward with 25 seconds remaining.
Pressure advantage for SK Miracle as they're starting to return fire, getting PSG pushed back into that bottom right corner. They really don't want to get all stacked up, so they're doing their best to stay spread out in these bushes, but there's no way for this team to bust down bushes. They're just doing their best to get shots around the corners and over the walls. They're going to have to go all in now. They're behind now on Stars, charging all the way in, firing away at sight. They can't get the kill. Advantage for PSG as they take down Ulysses and hold on to the lead.
Kudiace able to hold on to his magic hand for such a long time there, Woody. He was able to get that final pull in to shut down the comeback potential right there at the end for SK Miracle, just seeing them the first round in this matchup. Nice little replay on your screens there of the double kill that swung it back in the favor of PSG and gave them that lead.
And clutch plays from JK, as you saw in that replay there, using that super just barely in time to avoid the last shot, would have given a big 3-star swing to their opponent. So congratulations to PSG Esports, really playing heads-up offense and then retreating on defense right when they needed to hold on to those last few hit points. It's those really clever plays right in the heat of the action that sets apart teams like this from the rest of the competition.
Absolutely. We're jumping into round number 2 of Bounty, so we're keeping the games coming fast. Not seeing many adaptations here. We got the Jackie coming in, I believe, for SK Miracle, unless I missaw that on the way in. There you go. Yeah, Jackie just being jumped in there. Little Giant going to be playing aggressively on that one instead.
Yeah, springing into action there and grabbing the start right off the bat. That's going to be a nice little early lead for SK Miracle, but it will present an interesting tactical choice for them now. They're going to have to try to send Jackie in as often as they can right into the front line to block for this Gene and Carl out back. She's going to be able to sneak around there. A Little Giant moving into the bushes over on the right side. He's going to be forced back to retreat, but that's okay. SK Miracle still has that 1-star lead, and they're just waiting for PSG to make an error.
I don't think they're prepared to at the moment, Woody. Kudiace got the hand online. Probably wants to find Moding. He doesn't want to get either Ulysses or the pull. Find exactly Moding as he gets that first kill needed to give them a definitive lead. And a second pull again! Finding another kill! It's Kudiace putting the team on his back right now.
It looked like PSG were focusing so hard on Lil Giant over there in the top right corner that we just saw some really aggressive play from Moding. And right when he got out of position, you saw an instant pull from Kudiace. One of the best Gene players in the game grabs him, and for a second pull right afterwards, pulls far ahead now, 4 stars to 1 with 45 seconds remaining.
Trying to box in PSG right now. Moding playing very far back. Doesn't want to be...
Oh
and they
my
pull Little Giant
goodness!
in. After the poke, Moding will disengage with his own super, but Scythe is on the hunt. He's got a Porter to back him up as well. 4 dominance from QLASH and the rest of PSG, 10-1.
The Fist of Destiny. Coupe d'Ace cannot miss these pulls, and he's rewarded time and again. Not a single kill for SK Miracle. They have been dismantled during the
JK.
And what a finish for this set. PSG have really got a dominant showing right off the bat of their match 1 loss. They are coming back super hard, Tridd.
You get the star, that's all you're gonna get from the middle. You may have been able to get there fast, but it's just not enough. PSG able to execute pretty much flawlessly in that second round of Bounty to give themselves the first map win.
Not a single death. I'll call that a flawless victory if I've ever seen one, True. That one little star in the center doesn't even count in my book. You got a big, it's like an insurmountable advantage with even a minute left. PSG Esports playing really heads up there. JK, I think, has got to be the MVP from that first set. Using Carl really aggressively on offense and getting perfect hits, then retreating with that super anytime he saw that there was danger afoot.
I mean, you can just look at the numbers there, Woody. You see everything you need to. Just ignore the bounties. Just look at the kills. 13-3, and the damage is nearly a 50k deficit as well. That's a substantial margin. Just being present in that first map alone, that's really going to knock the confidence of SK Miracle moving into pit stop.
Yeah, if you were hoping that PSG was going to feel down and out after their match 1 loss, you have got another thing coming for you. There is a reason that they are at the top of the global leaderboard, and they are going to continue swinging here in set number 2, coming up very shortly.
So moving over to Junk Park next is our matchup, and wondering if we're going to see anything different. I'm noticing a trend here, Woody, a lot of Gale. If Max wasn't banned, we'd be seeing a lot of Max. And it seems to be Gene, Mr. P getting a lot of playtime as well in these first two matches.
Yeah, we even saw the introduction of Nani in our first match. I haven't seen him yet in that bounty round, but I think that moving into our future sets, there's a greater and greater chance that he will grace our stage with his presence. But as you mentioned before, Gale really considered to be super strong right now in the current meta and is being used by both teams now.
Mm-hmm. As well as the ball as well. Both teams opting for that. Little Giant and QLASH going to use the jump pads, get behind. JK on the Daryl, going to help to dispatch him with the help of Scythe. Ulysses on the Gale. Moding going to be playing the M's as well. Really struggling right now. They will get stunned up against the terrain. And this is easy cleanup right now for the side of PSG. They just need to find a way to get onto this safe.
Yeah, really reliable long-range damage from that. Gale can play both sides of the map at the same time, especially when he's set up in the middle right there. Scythe in the perfect spot here to play support for either of these tanks. Charging in. First off, it's going to be Coupe d'Ace getting a big whack at that safe, taking it down 30% and over 30 after all with Scythe's additional shots off there. Firing away. JK gets a kill over on Moding and will equalize the playing field once again. And a jump from Coupe d'Ace. They will not be denied. Continuing this suppressing fire on the safe, bringing it down to half hit points now, Tridd.
Don't bring an Ems and don't bring a bull to a Gale fight. We've seen 2 of these close-range brawlers being absolutely dismantled by a super from a Gale. QLASH knocked back and stunned. Moding popped his own super on the Ems and was completely denied by Scythe. And he's keeping that in his pocket for the next engagement. Tried to stand up Little Giant, who's going to go for the deep dive over the top with the spring. Great pushback from Ulysses will deny the damage. And it buys opportunity for SK to catch up. And he gets to another one to push him back. Moding keeping them at bay. The safe is just a duel between the Dow and the Bull, but they're keeping it close right now, Woody.
Really sneaky play there from Lil Giant. I don't know if you caught that, but a tank can deal a ton of damage short range. Those shotgun blasts are killer. Really nice job bringing us very close to an equalizer here, but PSG will still hold the lead 32% now to teen digits, single digits up on top. Take a look. The safe is barely standing, but one more hit from either team will be the finishing blow. Moding does not take the spring shot. Instead, he's going to go for the Scythe kill. And
that's exactly what Moding was doing, Woody. Moding was trying to zone them off of the spring shot to get them in range. Look at how much attention they're trying to play. Great shutdown to stop it. It gives Little Giant time. 3% to 1. Someone has to touch it, but no one's in range to do so. JK making a sprint for it. He's stunned. He still gets the spring shot. The match is over. They were able to get it mid-air.
SK Gaming, off the backs of a Barbarian King Bull from Lil Giant, have done it. Big hits early in the game, but they came back and made those shots count, denying PSG the killing blow that they saw. It seemed like PSG just needed to keep up the pressure, and even if they took more damage of their own, they would be able to dish out enough to finish the game off, but not true. Single digits remaining on that save, and still they couldn't keep it up. Really well done there to SK Miracle.
There are a lot of conscious decisions being made there that you wouldn't usually see on other maps, that you only really see in this particular interaction, because they were having to deal with both a Daryl and a Bull, both two close range, powerful brawlers. If they get on the safe, they're going to wreak havoc on it. They have an easy access path for it with the spring shots. So when it came down to the end and they were on singular digits, moding on the M's couldn't play defensively around the safe. They had to go forward and play around the spring shots. Otherwise, they get that instant connection and damage to end the game. So there's conscious decisions being forced out here by the use of these Gales dropping those spring shots.
Adaptation from PSG Esports now. They're going to be abandoning Bull in a... I'm not sure if this is going to pay off for them or not, but they're going to swap into Barley instead. JK is going to be playing the midfield now, trying to counter this Ulysses. Dropping a super now and getting some chip damage off on the safe. This Daryl is actually working really well for Coup d'Ace here. Gets a big hit early on, but don't count out SK Gaming or SK Miracle. Remember, they took a big hit in the first game, but were able to make it back after all. Let's see if they can stabilize here.
What is your safe answer for JK on this Barley? He's got Scythe protecting him, keeping him at range with the super. They just keep sending Daryl in time after time to get that close range damage, and JK can safely just throw bottles at the safe. There is such a compositional advantage here for PSG that SK Miracle are just going to end up losing this round. Look how fast it's over. That was won at Brawler Selection, in my opinion, Woody.
As soon as it began, yeah, you know, I gotta admit, I was proven wrong. JK was really super valuable there for PSG Esports. They said, you know what, we're not gonna play this charge on in Rambo style of gameplay. We're instead going to play a bit more safe and cautious, and that really worked super well for them. JK making great use of so many obstacles in the midfield to be able to hide away from the competition, and particularly working well as a counter to Gale rather in that last round, being able to toss those bottles and stay pretty well out of range. As long as you get a good read as to the direction your opponents are going in, those Barley bottles can deal a massive amount of damage. He just wasn't countered for the entire match.
Yeah, there was no one who could safely do it, and like you said, he had the assistance of a Gale of his own to keep those beefier brawlers who could close the gap at range. If they're burning resources to hunt down a Barley, they are not using those resources to get onto the enemy's safe. Same composition coming out for PSG, and they're going to bring a Barley of their own to this next fight. They're just mirroring the composition. Actually, they've gone for the Bull rather than the Daryl.
Yeah, interesting move here. Bull, very powerful, as we've seen time and again here. Apto Moding is going to be up on top using him this time, and I'm kind of wondering why they made that swap out. Do you think that Bull might be a little bit more useful against this Barley coming on in?
I think it depends on what star powers they're taking. I think Bull is going to enable some options here to create more opportunities to attack by breaking down the barriers, which is something that no one else on this map could actually do. Bull is a great cover. Lil Giant's going to take out Scythe, and Moding's already on top of this safe. The other trade back and forth. Lil Giant's in the face of JK, trying to slow him down. Can't run away. Scythe trying to stop Moding, but he still gets that final tick of damage out. A lead here for SK Miracle.
Unleashing on that enemy's safe. Earlier we saw Lil Giant playing the role of the tank, but now it's going to be Moding getting the big damage hits off early on. SK Miracle holding on to an appreciable lead now in this tiebreaker game. Shots from JK though. Coup d'Ace is uncontested. Right there on the safe. Pops the gadget and will swoop back out. That's going to be a big swing in favor of PSG Esports. Can they get that one last kill? Coup d'Ace jumps in, goes for this killing shot, fires away. Lil Giant can't stop him. That's it. PSG Esports takes the set, and they've got a 2-0 match lead.
I love what Gale is enabling on this map because it forces teams to make a conscious decision. If they go on a counterattack like you saw SK Miracle do, they have to remove themselves around cover. They have to remove it around an obstacle. And when QDA saw that happen, he was like, okay, I can 1v1 whoever is on that safe right now on the Daryl. I'm going to take the spring shot and get there. And were able to get themselves behind an obstacle and create more time on the safe. On the flip side, PSG are playing around not the safes, they're playing around the spring shots. You saw multiple times there Scythe commit the Gale Super to force the enemy team away from the spring shot, let it trigger, it has that brief cooldown timer, and while it is resetting, they then get the kills and stop them from getting on the safe altogether. I think compositionally, PSG have the advantage, but also how they're playing around these Gale gadgets, definitely still in the favor of PSG.
It's so terrifying when your safe gets below that 30% mark or so. You have to keep someone on defense full time after that point, or else someone like Daryl or Bull can just hop right in and finish you off. It becomes a completely different game once you take a big hit like that early on. SK Miracle forced back into an awkward position where they couldn't commit to a full attack. And hey, I saw the first game of that set. It really looked like they were a squad that could manage that sort of incoming damage and still be able to push it back as far as PSG was able to deliver it, but not that last time. PSG saw the weaknesses in their second round approach, were able to balance it out perfectly and make it back in.
This is another opportunity where if the spring shots are set up correctly, they're going to be really impactful when the siege bots start slamming down against these Ikes.
This is a really strange setup here from SK Miracle, not very committing at all. No big tanks out in front to help bash through the center of this map, and it's going to be a big lead for PSG. They've gotten several bolts already and are going to get the first siege bot with a tied score 1-1 going into the second one.
Also, what I like about this as well, the invulnerability shields are going to be able to get some value because of the spring shot. Siege bot level 2. Moving in, going to buy some more time to get it into action. Great count there by Ulysses to force back the bot and buy more time. No connections can be made, so it was just the raw damage from PSG that dropped it by 13%.
This siege mode is really playing to PSG's advantage so far. They've gotten the first bot and are starting to pick up bolts for the second one. We're relatively tied here now, though, but that 13% damage early on could make all the difference later. We've seen really close siege game results in past matches, so just keep an eye on that bolt score. Boltonomics going in the favor of PSG as the fifth bolt has been claimed, and that's going to be a siege bot for them. That is absolutely huge. Very difficult for SK Miracle to come back at this point. They've got a 4-bolt lead, but they're going to have to knock down this bot, and it's going to take a long time to reestablish themselves in the center.
Ulysses is just burning the damage. He's got time on the super. He doesn't even need to use it. They did a great job of dealing with that Ike because there wasn't anyone from PSG to reinforce it. So now they have to use that bolt lead they had, build on it for the last siege. Great pull there brings Call the Ace in, so he's going to be caught out by moding, and it will give him a man advantage in the center, but they've not caught a single bolt in this round yet, Woody. It's allowed PSG to catch back up.
Oh, dropped a bolt over there right in the center as that Gale was going down, and that might be enough to give SK Miracle another spot in this game after all. They've got a bolt deficit, though. Can they come back? Lil Giant's going to send one back, but PSG have already got up to 8. That's going to be the third and final siege bot, all 3 for the blue team. PSG could not be denied.
Ace just sealed the deal there with that play. Able to pop the Gene Gadget, give himself a heal, disengage the fight after being pulled into a sticky situation. Gave him enough time to go ahead and get that bolt into the bank. It's all she wrote for SK Miracle in this first round. But Ace, star of this series so far for me.
Massive artillery firepower pounding down at this SK Miracle team. PSG Esports is now one single game away from taking the match here and now. And what seemed like a really tight round 2 has swung back so hard, and PSG, I don't know what SK Miracle could do to stop them at this point. I think that they need a bigger front line to provide some additional defense in the middle. I know that that's a ton of damage being dished out by PSG, but what can you do to stop it? You got to either dodge the shots, block them with a tank, or try to heal up somehow. I'm not sure what you could do for healing besides maybe Gene's magic puffs, but really PSG are just super outplaying SK Miracle in this third set so far.
I think looking for potentially a tankier composition to help have that mid control more and deny the bolts is going to be really important. You have to remember the first 2 sieges didn't provide any damage on the Ike. It was all done by the Brawlers. So, and barely done by the Brawlers, in fact. So it's a lot reliant on getting these bolts into play in the siege match rather than the raw damage. I think you could have sacrificed it for some more staying power in the mid to contest these bolts.
We're seeing pretty much the same story in game number 2, an early lead for PSG claiming the midfield, but a nice kill from SK Miracle pushing back is going to result in a tie. Coup d'Ace, the clutch attacker for PSG, was not able to support the rest of his team after getting taken out, and that's going to be a big chunk out of PSG's early gameplay. SK Miracle establishing themselves over on the right side of the map and taking a big lead on the bolt dynamics race here. Sai's going to grab the 3rd bolt here, but SK Miracle have got a clear lead, twice as many bolts on their side, Tridd.
Great pull there to try and pull and slow this one down. They tried to knock it out, but Ulysses will still find Scythe. So like you said, Woody, this bolt lead still substantial for SK Miracle. 16 seconds on the clock, so it is redeemable for PSG still if they capture every bolt that's coming out. But they've got no control of the right-hand side, so they're getting a free bolt every couple of seconds from Little Giant, who's going to push them over the edge. They're walking into this next siege with a 11 bolt siege bot.
And you see Coup d'Ace there trapped in the mid, having to make that really tricky decision to just survive for a few more seconds or to go down swinging, but lose out on the bolt. SK Miracle is going to get a huge bot storming on in level 11, bashing away at the safe. PSG ought to be able to keep their Ike alive, but I don't know how they're going to be able to get enough damage on the comeback. They've got a 5 bolt lead, and they're going to have to push that so high and mighty to get SK Miracle down. Fortunately for PSG, they will be able to commit to an all-in push with this last attack, and they get a great kill there. Coup d'Ace pulling in an enemy, and another shot out there on the left leads Lil Giant down. Tridd, they might do it after all.
They've got themselves 9. They can get that 10th bolt. They're going to be in a good spot to try and end it in one push. But they have to get their spawns and they have to get their kills timed perfectly on this one because there's a lot of shutdown potential from SK Miracle. They have the Gale, they have the Gene, and they've got supers on the board.
A level 12 siege bot, even bigger than what SK Miracle was able to build up. But can SK pull off the defense? Watch Moding over here. If he's got his super, he might
got down!
Pull this bot off, but no, take it down to get Coup d'Ace. This could be it. 8 seconds left.
They're on the Ike, they're dealing the damage, they've done it! They've done enough, Woody! That's going to be PSG sealing the deal and taking this second series of the day in a 3-0 sweep.
A one-punch man super siege slam right at the last second gets them over the hump, and PSG Esports will go home with a 3-0 set score in this second match. Congratulations to them, coming hot off a loss in match number 1. They have redeemed themselves and will hold on to at least second place in this matchup.
They can still have a shot at first here, Woody. Having a 3-0 scoreline puts them in a great spot. If, for whatever reason, Jupiter is able to go ahead and have a really dominant performance against... if SK Miracle is able to have a dominant performance against Jupiter in our final match in the APAC region, PSG can still clinch first because of that scoreline they created for themselves.
Look, it really would be a miracle if they were able to overcome Jupiter in this third match. Falcone?
You know when you just can't take your eyes off a game of Brawl Stars? That is exactly how I was feeling when it got to that last game. Although PSG was so ahead, they were so ahead with the whole match, that last game where they fell behind and clawed their way back in the final siege spot, it's just so cool to see. Let's take a look at the MVP for this match. And you know what? Tridd called it. It's Coup d'Ace. It couldn't be anyone else. What a star in this series. And again, it goes back to Gene. I feel like last month we talked so much about how Gene was dominating everywhere. And, you know, balance changes aside, as Woody exclaimed earlier, it's the Fist of Destiny! Gene with that super over and over again, sucking in players one at a time and dominating the other team in bounty. A flawless victory in Game 2. Huge advantage for PSG coming in early in the match. In Heist, the team picked it back up for the second game and smashed SK's safe into pieces with Game 3. Coup d'Ace there on Daryl. And then finally, what can be said about Siege? It was just Gene all over again. Yes, things got a little bit dicey from time to time, but with those pulls over and over again, Coup d'Ace and the team were able to take it down. A dominating victory for PSG, but now let's take a look at the bracket and see what that means. It means the PSG and Jupiter are all tied up, and really everything in this set, everything in this group comes down to the last match, which is going to be Jupiter up against SK Miracle. If Jupiter can take this one down, yes, they are going to go ahead and win the group. But if SK Miracle can beat Jupiter, things get a little bit more complicated. Jupiter, Ponkotsu, Hagego, Mukreo, and Tensai up against SK, which is Moding, Weak, Little Giant, and Ulysses. Let's take a look at these teams and talk about them a little bit. Jupiter are currently 3rd place on the global leaderboard. Not too far behind joint 1st place of CODEMAGIC and PSG. This monthly finals group is extremely important. Earlier this month, Hagego was proudly showing off that he has all brawlers at rank 35. That is really quite incredible. That's a lot of trophies. Now moving on, let's talk a little bit about SK Gaming. SK Miracle. SK Miracle, not to be confused with SK Gaming, my bad. SK Miracle, formerly the team known as Apdo. They weren't able to qualify for the August monthly finals, but are still confident that they'll be back and ready to get revenge in future months. But now, we need to focus on this month. We need to focus on July. Are SK able to make their comeback? Maybe even get 1st place. It's time to find out with the final match of the group. Welcome back, Ark.
Thank you very much, Falcone. Hello, Woody. How are you? What time is it there for you, Woody? You're
still hanging with us. But I have got my caffeine and I am ready and energized for this match. Jupiter and SK Miracle are going to be duking it out head-to-head. Back when they were Apto, they took a 3-1 lead over them in April. Jupiter won the Siege set only on a 3-2. This is going to really be an awesome chance to see these two teams fighting again, Ark.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see similar bands actually from the previous set. So definitely these two teams thinking along the same kind of lines. And actually, a lot of people on Twitch kind of questioning the Max ban. I actually think Max is in a really, really great place. But I was interested to see how much we are seeing Sprout being banned today. For me, I think maybe... I guess players are so used to having Sprout be banned, it kind of makes sense until we see how he sits in the meta. But what do you think of the new bans that we're seeing right now? And Gale's not being banned at all yet, which is interesting because he's being played in every game.
Yeah, check out those bans again for me, would you?
Max and Sprout was what I had on my screen.
Yeah, Sprout is just such a comfort pick for these teams at this point. As you noted there, they're just so used to playing without Sprout in the field that I think they've gotten to the point where they expect things to be so different if they have to play with Sprout in the meta that they're just a lot more reliably focused on playing without him. Banning him there just kind of keeps things even and smooth keel. So I think that's the rationale there. And yeah, Max, the same thing as previous matches. We just don't see these two brawlers very strong, and if a team hasn't been practicing with those super strong brawlers, you definitely want to deny access at least to your opponents.
Yeah, and it's gonna be really interesting to see as well how these bans kind of vary from region to region. But heading straight on in then to our first game between these two teams. Brawl Ball is up next. I see another Holiday Pam skin. I like it. I like it a lot.
Clutch shot there from Hagego, grabbed a big hit off of a Little Giant who's going to be forced to retreat now, back out. No kill yet for either team, but SK Miracle are not looking super strong just yet. Box is being busted down on their side of the arena too. We're going to deny them that coverage that they're going to need in the mid game to try to push back. Finally, the ball's getting grabbed by Hagego here, tosses it forward, and a beautiful shot. Nice stun there from Tensai gives Hagego the perfect opportunity to get the killing blow. A big bust from the super gives Tensai a shot on goal, but blocked by Little Giant. The goalie here will hold on to that last line of defense.
Yeah, Tensei just a little bit too early with that shot, trying to predict the wall breaking in advance there. But I've got to say, I really like that synergy between Tensei and Hagego. Tensei using the Gale stun to stun the enemy, and then Hagego going for the easy follow-up sniper shots. Really like that brawler comp choice there from Jupiter.
Hagego is going to be forced to fire away at those robo porters now, kind of reducing the output damage from Jupiter for a little while here. Big gadget usage here from Wukyok is going to keep that team alive a little bit longer, but with that last shot, Milcreo bouncing the suitcase over the wall is going to get those River Porters down. SK Miracle is in a big heap of trouble, but a jump in here from Lil Giant's going to buy them a few more seconds. Tensai with the ball, tosses it in. Hagego takes a few pop shots off, but can't get Ulysses down. We're back to an equalized playing field, but with those River Porters starting to come out from Milcreo, Jupiter has got a big lead.
Yeah, Jupiter doing a fantastic job right now of just control, and I definitely feel like the range of Hagego and Tensei is definitely helping to accommodate for that. Look at this stun from Tensei, stunning, and now look at this. It's down to it's a save from from the Gale there, as the goal was looking inevitable, but now actually 30 seconds away from overtime, and could be a great spot for Hagego if it does go to overtime as well.
SK Miracle looking desperate now with these plays, doing their best to keep this pressure off, but not able to deny. Tensai, another big super, pushes both Yulehawk and Ulysses back. That's going to be a big advantage for Jupiter moving on in on this 3-2, the power play. The shot doesn't go in, denied. SK Miracle going to fire it back out, but Milcreo has got an easy goal. There it goes. Jupiter with a 1-0 lead. It will take this first game.
Great start for Jupiter. I really like their perseverance there. Just, I think this comp is working really, really well. If they can just continue to keep and maintain that control, shutting down the opponents and not letting that push up on their goal. That game was entirely Jupiter's. Just a great display of how it's done.
Gale plus any sniper is absolute destruction. Tensai getting so many great stun hits off there and giving Hagego the perfect setup for an easy shot. Headshots left and right. I gotta say, Hagego probably dealt more damage than maybe the entire SK Miracle squad combined with all those hits, long range, perfect aim. Jupiter were far and ahead the favorites throughout the entirety of that game.
Yeah, I think, do you know what? Even like a Mortis pick could be quite good here if Hagego does opt to go Piper once again. Even like rushing in, as we saw then, the Pan with the bounce pad to try to just kind of get Hagego out the mix didn't work. All of Jupiter just kind of hunkering down together and focusing on the attention there. And yeah, I mean, you got to get Hagego down. Right now, he is absolutely dominating for his team.
As soon as you say Mortis is a good pick, I'm worried that Jupiter are going to swap out, maybe go for a little bit more tankier long-range attacker. That would leave SK Miracle in a really tricky spot. You know, Mortis is only useful in the rare cases where your opponents are running one of those long-range throwers or a sniper like Piper. So let's go ahead and see the brawler picks from each of these teams now. Are they going to mix it up? We're going to see a Piper now from SK Miracle as well, so a little bit of counter-sniping fire here. Ulysses gets a nice shot early, and it's going to force Hagego back. SK Miracle with the first hit lead here.
Yeah, I think the matching of the Pipers wise here. I think we haven't really seen actually Mortis being played by really many teams in the Asia side of things, predominantly in the EU and NA side, but I do like the fact that SK Miracle are starting to mix it up and think through their comps a little bit more than the previous game.
Yeah, we see these Gales now going backwards, hopping behind enemy lines to try to get an easy shot off here. Little Giant's not going to get a chance to grab that ball early on here. Milcreo for the finishing blow will set up his Robo Porters right here, and we're back to an equalized playing field now. SK Miracle getting a first attack in, but not a shot yet on goal. No boxes busted for either team yet.
Yeah, I was just about to say the exact same thing, and Hagego will definitely be looking to do that here, and has got now super. The question is, can he advance towards the defensive area and not provide more value? And then actually he just did, providing value towards the opposing Pipers to get that super as well. And now both teams looking for a push to break that wall and have it all happen in perfect harmony.
Firefight in the center field here. Neither team holding control of the ball, but Jupiter now starting to push back ahead once again. Nice hits off on Lil Giant and Ulysses are going to force them back. Hagego trying to get the final kill, but not able to finish it off. Setting up now for that super, going to bust out some of those boxes. Milcreo going in for the kill, fires it off, scores! Milcreo gets the 1-0 lead for Jupiter.
Yeah, and a great time for it. 1 minute now remaining. The pressure is on for SK Miracle, or Jupiter will take this first set. Great stun on that left-hand side from Tensei, forcing back Lil Giant. And although Hagego's low, oh, it actually goes down there. A securing shot should give SK Miracle a chance to push, but they're not really going in too aggressively here, Woody.
Yeah, it's not much of a big advantage when you get one kill if all of the members of your team have taken big, heavy fire. SK Miracle trying to recover now. They push back in and bust down that first layer of walls, but only have 15 seconds left to make the kill. And I don't think that they could do it. Tensai playing beautiful defense here, but gets taken down almost immediately after. What is going on? They just fell apart. SK Miracle pull off the equalizer.
What a time to do it. Very, very calculated process there, it must be said. It's always difficult to score in those final seconds to ensure that everything goes according to plan and nothing goes wrong. So definitely a commendable moment for SK Miracle, but can they now get this goal and give themselves a bit of a chance to recover here? Tensa going with the bounce pad, going very aggressively here, and Little Giant shutting it down. And now look at this from SK Miracle pushing up here. Can they get the goal?
What has happened? All of a sudden, SK Miracle have come back and are dealing a ton of damage, pushing Jupiter back into their goal line and denying him any thought of an opportunity to attack. Ulysses now getting pop shots off left and right. Hagego struggling to keep pace now as SK Miracle are going to have one more chance to make the goal happen. 15 seconds left, Ark.
There's a lot of supers on the build. A super pass doesn't quite pay off. The takedown was there, but look at this. Hagego now launching in as well. 5 seconds. Is he going to do this?
Oh my God! No! Fires!
Oh! My goodness me. A little hesitation from Hagego, and that, I feel, did cost him in that moment. Terrible moment there for Hagego. Just needed to commit, and either way it would have gone to the next game, but yeah, unfortunate there from Jupiter.
Big oof. Jupiter with almost the chance of a lifetime to score and equalize the firepower. They fired back with that 1-1 draw, trying to put it over the line, but just inches away. I gotta say though, I think the bigger mistake for the Jupiter squad there was from Tensai earlier on with just seconds remaining in regulation time. It looked like he was in this like fight or flight mode and instead just froze, didn't defend against any side of the attack, lost all of the support on his side of the map, and with those boxes going down right on the corner line of the goal there, got scored on. We're gonna have the field reset now, but Jupiter still has the lead, Ark.
Yeah, and really worth mentioning as well that, you know, Jupiter had a really, really great first round. They were looking very, very confident, and it just seemed like in that last game that we saw the changing of some of the brawlers to Piper, and the pressure was definitely being felt as a result of those brawler change-ups from SK Miracle, and you know, that's the thing now. They've got to go back to that old mindset and just kind of control that. They did such a great job of control in that first round, and they've got to get back in that headspace.
I mean, as soon as Ulysses swapped out to Piper, Jupiter have consistently found trouble time and again. Every single time a hit gets off, Ulysses is on a rampage right now. 2 kills now for SK Miracle as Wuhawk's going in for a shot. Banks it off the wall, though, and doesn't really get that great of a hit in. But still, it's going to be an offensive advantage now for SK Miracle, pushing Jupiter into a corner, which they finally have been able to break out from. It looks like we're equalizing once again. Ball position in Jupiter's favor is going to give them a little bit of a lead here.
Yeah, it looked to me like a great opportunity there for SK Miracle just to kind of hold that spawn trap and apply some pressure, but they're playing the slow game, it seems. A Little Giant on the right side causing some problems, but Hagego shuts it down, and yeah, I just felt like they could have maybe done a bit more with that opportunity, but playing the slow game is never a bad thing, as long as you don't find yourselves being pushed back so far into your spawn that it kind of turns itself around. A great chance here for Jupiter if they can capitalize here. Hagego going in with super.
Nice super! Busts down all the boxes over on the right side. That's going to give them an easy lane of attack here with over a minute left. Jupiter are looking to close this out with a 1-0 win. Milcreo goes in, goes for the pass, but misses, goes for the shot and scores!
Jupiter then back in the confidence seat, but still, we saw this in the previous set with 1 minute to go. Pretty much, we could be seeing a bit of deja vu here. Tensa going to use the launch pad, or actually changing his mind a little bit, but definitely keeping SK Miracle on their toes there with the prospect that he might get behind their spawn and start wrecking some havoc. But if they can get the ball here, I think a lot of SK Miracle down past the Milcreo. He scores! It's going to be Jupiter that will take the first set.
Man, if you had blinked after that second kickoff, you might have missed it. A really quick round 2. Jupiter taking it all the way back to the goal line and knocking it in. It was an early lead for SK Miracle, but they couldn't find the offensive skill set necessary to get that goal in. Great job to Jupiter, even missing a shot here and there. Were able to keep that pressure up and knocked SK Miracle down a peg. Take a look at the differential on kills, though. Over a 2-to-1 advantage for Jupiter that time around, and that really played out clearly in the goal line performance as well. 4 goals for Jupiter, just 1 on the SK Miracle side of things.
Yeah, very much more on the takedown focused side of things, and I think that is always going to definitely at the very least give you a greater chance of getting those goals. And yeah, a very different round there for Jupiter as well, just kind of staying more composed, and we didn't see that deja vu occurring. They were able to maintain it in a great round, but you know, going into to Siege now, are they able to repeat that? That's the question now.
I think there's a solid chance of it. Remember, Jupiter has been a favorite in Siege for a long time. Back in the April qualifier, they took the 3-2 win over Apto only in Siege. They lost to this same squad in every other set, but Siege was their victorious map. They're going to get another chance to push that lead even further now against SK Miracle, looking for that 2-0 shutdown. What do you think are the changes that have happened over the past few months that might give SK Miracle a chance here in the Siege map, Ark?
I think just some unpredictability. I mean, Max would have been a great choice here. Obviously, he is banned. We will not be seeing Max. Max will not be played here. But, you know, some kind of speed is always a good thing for me. And actually, you know, Carl could be a good pick here, potentially for SK Miracle if they're able to get the opportunity to use it well. You know, going in with that speed boost and getting those kills in the process is a great choice. And Carl used to be very, very dominant in Siege.
Nice attempt there from Tensai to give his teammates there a chance to get the kill, but he was distracted over in there on the right. It's going to leave SK Miracle with a little bit of a bolt advantage now. Jupiter reclaiming the midfield, though. Milcreo doing his best to reestablish here, but taking shots left and right, and it's kind of forced behind these bushes on the backside. It's going to be the next Siege that's going to determine which team pulls far ahead, with that first one being denied on a tie. SK Miracle are trying to get back in it, but are struggling to hold the center field. That little bolt advantage that they had, though, is going to pay off dividends as they're now finally falling behind just now. Only 5 bolts to 8 in the hands of Jupiter. It's a big lead in the round 2, Ark.
Yeah, this is turning around really, really quickly, and that draw of that round definitely went in favor of Jupiter more so than it did SK Miracle. Look at these bolts, 12, 13 going in. The defense, the pressure on, but, you know, if SK Miracle can get a defense here, then they might be able to get a good round next, but this bot is looking aggressive, Woody.
Yeah, big unlucky number 13 for SK Miracle, dashing the hopes of that team. Any chance that they thought they had at getting a win has just really been thrown to the dumpster now. You could even possibly see an all-in move from Jupiter here to try to finish that Ike off rather than playing this Bolt game. They're going to continue to actually play for the standard textbook ABC style of strategy here. They going for the Bolts. I mean, if they get the last Siege bot, it's all over for SK Miracle anyways.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to take a lot. They have to really dig deep. They're going to be able to do anything here to go up against.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Jupiter looking very, very strong in Siege right now. I think, yeah, SK Miracle a bit in trouble right here.
I mean, even though SK Miracle were able to get their bolts up to 10, the 8 that Jupiter held at just the right millisecond gave them that final Siege bot on an 8-7 bolt scoreline. And Jupiter are now 1 game closer to clenching this match.
Yeah, if they can just get this 1 game coming up now in the bag, it will give them a great advantage going in to that 3rd set. You know, that's a lot of pressure to place upon SK Miracle, right? We saw a little bit of that Gene BM at the end. We're not really seeing much BM like from the Asia region right now. I think that might change later on today after some of the conversations I've had with the Europe side. But yeah, I mean, you know, great games right now. Jupiter looking a fantastic form.
Yeah, of course, we love respectful play here, but a little bit of light jabbing, you know, ribbing is never completely underappreciated either. Jupiter, with a clear and decisive lead, though, are not looking to rub it in. With 270 points on the global leaderboard, they're currently sitting in third place and only just barely behind PSG Esports. Having picked up that win in match number 1, I think that Jupiter are actually going to be definitely pulling ahead in the overall rankings now. It looks like they're going to beat SK Miracle if the first set was any predictor on what's going to continue on in this match, and that would give them the first spot in the global leaderboard. Only a few more games separate them from that coveted position, Ark.
Yeah, that's a really, really solid point, actually. And Jupiter, I believe, have yet to kind of really assert authority as being the number 1 on the leaderboard. So potentially a great day for them. We are going to see a few brawler tweaks here, actually. We're on the right-hand side playing Jackie here then. I wonder whether that will fare better for SK Miracle.
Yeah, first siege spot here for Jupiter, but SK Miracle have got a lot going in their favor. That brawler swap out is going to give them a better chance in the late game. I'm thinking that Jackie just needs to get the right position, and she can deal a ton of damage and be really threatening to these close range combatants. Barley does not like to have a Jackie right up in his face, and so as long as SK Miracle can hold on for a little bit longer and get that bolt score back up, they have got a clear advantage going into the late game here. Only took 14% off their Ike with that first blow, and Jupiter are looking really perilous now, Ark.
Yeah, absolutely. But if they can just get a couple of these bolts, and they are banking them, they're taking advantage of that opportunity. It is going to be a level 9 bot to defend for Jupiter, and I think as well, potentially SK Miracle could bank a couple in this push. There are any left to be spawning. Milk Ray on the left-hand side looking very low. He will probably go for the pull on the bot. Actually, no, the bot's kind of low. He doesn't need to. He was going to save that super, and that will be able to go on the aggressive. If he hits this, it will allow Jupiter to push back in.
Bit of an awkward defense, though, from Jupiter. They didn't really get the pull on the bot, and they didn't really take down any of the enemy brawlers. Instead, they took a relatively big hit on their Ike, taking them now down below where SK Miracle is at. But it's all going to come down to this last siege bot. That's the only thing that matters at this point. A tie would be in SK Miracle's favor, but they've got the bolt lead. Oh, they actually just slipped up. It's now 5 bolts for Jupiter. They're catching back up. Can they get that final bolt in? No! It's going to Jupiter after all. The level 6 siege bot is going to come storming in.
And this is not what SK Miracle wanted, especially after just kind of starting to claw back. A very, very close neck and neck in the bolts, but look at this. The wipe out is there. That bot is going to go in ham, Woody.
SK Miracle seemed far and ahead the favorites going into this third round, but just couldn't get those bolts on their side. They got 7 by total at the end, but just weren't able to keep pace and get them early on when they needed them most. Jupiter, with the comeback, got that bolt score up high and mighty, thanks mostly to the great Carl play there from Lil Giant, as you saw in the replay toward the end. SK Miracle pulverized in set number 2. The last chance that we thought that we saw them pulling ahead, even that was denied.
Yeah, and it's looking like a Jupiter day for sure. Really, really dominating the plays from them, and they are just absolutely dominating this new meta and mixing things up. Everyone's in the same boat. You know, balance changes happened 3 days ago, so all of these teams are looking to try to find any kind of weakness, and it just feels to me like, you know, picking the right brawlers and also like just using them better, I think today is what's doing it well for them.
Jupiter is an absolute giant and controls this entire tournament now. Every other team is revolving around them, and they only need one more set win to be first place in the world. This could be their chance to really pull. And I mean, I'm saying it over and over, but it bears repeating. Jupiter have done it. They've really upset PSG Esports and are now just dominant over SK Miracle, Ark.
Yeah, it's fantastic to watch these kind of stories as they evolve and change, and just when you kind of think that you're going to be kind of seeing some consistency this year, it turns on its head and someone else new takes the crown, and it's a delight to watch.
The king is dead. Long live the king. Jupiter just one more set in their favor, and they're going to get a chance to make it happen here with this bounty map. Picking up Brock, Colt, and Gale, of course, as we've seen so many times. Oops, sorry, this is not bounty. This is going to be heist instead.
Yeah, heist, and not just any heist map, but one that particularly favors the safe rush. And again, we're going to be seeing Colt on both sides, contributing a lot to that base race. Look at this 1%. It is going to go the way of Jupiter, but we did just see that game, I think, finish after about 25 seconds, really.
What? One of the quickest games in Brawl Stars Championship history. Over 2 minutes left on the clock. An absolute dive by both teams sees Jupiter get the first game of the set and put themselves in a match point position.
It's crazy.
I didn't even get to cast that last game, Mark.
And this is the thing we're seeing with the introduction of gadgets and various other elements being brought into the game. A base race is now just beyond quick. Like base races used to be quick. Now they are just excelled into a new dimension.
Well, I'm looking for some map switch outs maybe in the next month. You gotta do something to give defense a little bit of a boost when the safes go down that quickly. What can they do to stop it? It's going to be another really heavy offensive brawl setup here for Jupiter. Going up against SK Miracle one more time. They're trying to defend here. Colt going to hide behind this wall and take a few pop shots off. Can this strategy work for them?
Yeah, it's a really, really tough strategy to face off against. I mean, Colt can just do so much damage with that gadget. And already look at this, Jupiter in a great spot to be able to get a ton of damage here. Mugria jumping in. This could be literally all over again, Woody, in a matter of seconds. Wow, my goodness me. Jupiter, take it, Woody.
2 minutes left on the clock still, but Jupiter weren't willing to wait a single second. Buff to Colton this last round of balance changes means that if you land every single hit, you get your super charged back up immediately. That really reduces the riskiness element of playing such a heavy damage, long-range brawler whose projectile size is also increased. Big advantage in that heist game mode, and Jupiter were the walk-away favorites with it, taking both of the first games down with a nearly 2-to-1 advantage on that kill line and on the safe damage line. Huge job there to Jupiter. Congratulations, and let's throw it over to Falcone.
What on earth happened with that final set? I feel like I blinked and missed both games. That was ridiculous. Watching Tensai on the Colt just wham away at that safe really was a sight to behold, and that is why we have named Tensai our MVP of that match. We're going to look at some of the very best moments coming up from that match as there they are. We got Brawl and Tensai was playing as Gale a little bit earlier on, just again dominating. We've seen Gale being extremely powerful over the last few days, ever since the balance changes. We've even seen players talking about Gale and how Gale seems to be particularly strong at the moment on Twitter. Really does seem to be a force to be reckoned with. I did expect to see Gale actually banned a little bit more often today, but we haven't seen that all that much yet. But you never know, as we are only halfway through the day so far. We're going to look at the final scores for this group and see how things ended up. As there you have it. It was not CODEMAGIC Purple, it is actually Jupiter that are going to be taking away this group. There you go. Jupiter are going to be taking away this group with a 2-0 match score, dominating everyone. A fantastic performance for Jupiter, who once again were in third place coming in to this event. So maybe today, after taking down PSG Esports, Jupiter are going to find themselves at top of the leaderboard. Who knows? But still, for today, Jupiter will reign supreme. And let's take a look at what they have won. That's the fun part, isn't it? $9,000 going home to the members of Jupiter. But it's not too bad for PSG or SK Miracle either, as PSG are going to be taking home $6,000 and SK Miracle are going to be taking home $4,000 themselves. Not too bad at all. But, of course, and I have to remind you this every single time, it's not just about the prize money, it's about the points, because these teams want to qualify for the global finals later this year. And currently in the APAC region, look at that! Jupiter have caught up with PSG Esports. This really is a two-horse race when you look at the APAC region, and I cannot wait to see which direction this one goes into. As you see, there's a lot of other teams that have been competing as well. However, we're over halfway through the monthly finals now, and it's going to take a lot of work for them to catch up with Jupiter or PSG. But that is the first group of the day wrapped up. We're moving on to Europe now, and the first match is going to be CODEMAGIC Purple up against CLASH EU. CODEMAGIC Purple, Curse, Jeton, Twisty Twig, and Sam Bentley. CLASH EU, Guille, iChaos, Trebons, and iMooniz. So, it's time to talk about some of these amazing players, starting with CODEMAGIC Purple. CODEMAGIC Purple came into this monthly finals at joint first place on the global leaderboard, so they are close to qualifying. This could be the month where we find out for certain if they're going to get through. When I asked Curse in an interview this week how he and the team were able to keep up so much consistency in their performances in the monthly finals and in the qualifiers, he said it's all about hard work and determination. Super wholesome there, Curse. Let's take a look at the other team. It's going to be CLASH EU. Now, CLASH EU have an interesting story in the monthly finals, as they have qualified for every other month. They've also won each month where they've qualified to the monthly finals. Will this trend continue today? Guille said to me in an interview this week that their team have not actually been giving it the best that they can do recently, but that it is something they are planning on changing very soon. Well then, Guille, well then, CLASH, let's see if you can pull it off. Let's see if you can maintain your consistency of winning the monthly finals that you qualify to. Casters, take it away.
Thank you very much, Falcone. It's time to jump into Europe. And as you've already said, CLASH have been quite dominant when they can actually make it to these monthly finals. And we're hoping to see if there's going to be more of the same as they go after CODEMAGIC Purple in our first matchup of the region.
Yeah, and straight off the bat, I did say on Twitch, I did feel like the bans would look very different for EU, and Gale straight away being banned by CODEMAGIC Purple. I think that's a wise choice. Gale has been played, I think, in every game today, and Mr. P on the cards as well for CLASH.
Does mean that Max, Nani, and even Sprout is open as well if they want to be options. We're going to be going over to Olive Branch first, and we're going to kick things off with a Siege map.
Yeah, Sprout on the cards. Definitely was the brawler that I heard in that list. But yeah, Max still very dominant as well. So definitely going to be mixing things up with that. But less of those knockbacks and stuns is going to open up a couple of options, I would say. And yeah, these two bans are actually going to change these games a lot from what we've already seen today. So very, very different dynamic, I think, will be coming next for the EU side of things.
Yeah, hoping to see some mix-up as well, because we've already seen the impact that Gale has had on certain maps. The gadget is just, I even said it on Twitter, it just creates a second objective to play around on some map types. And so I think that's a little too much power to have on the field to be able to change the game that much. But we'll find out maybe in future series where Gale's open, whether Europe is adopting and using Gale in the same capacity as Asia was.
Yeah, the rework to Gale was quite substantial. So taking down his shot width down to being quite narrow, in fact, and increasing the damage of that. So potentially, you know, in the near future, we might see some tweaks to Gale and some continuous changes. But I definitely feel like it's always, for me at least, more fun to have a stronger brawler than a weaker brawler or that. Yeah. So definitely do like those changes. But in we go then to Siege, and already Sprout is on the cards for CODEMAGIC Purple.
Yeah, already making use of the fact that it's not banned. Muniz going in onto Twisty Twig to try and contest for those bolts. Still one apiece at the moment until CODEMAGIC Purple go ahead and get that one in their board. The super from Sam Bentley wasn't enough to deter iChaos from going for that bolt. But we will see that the Siege bot is in play. Level 2, already getting that first frag. They're in position to try and get some extra damage onto the safe right now. Sam Bentley will get the heals from Pam Station. A little bit of damage, only going to be around about the 20. Oh, they good. Managed to go beyond the 40% off the back of the last call from Barley. That's a great first push and so much value being gained.
Oh, yeah, absolutely a fantastic start for CODEMAGIC Purple, and the control that we're seeing as well right now, which is against a pretty fierce comp. You know, this ambulance comp is not one to be trifled with. And yeah, CODEMAGIC off to a cracking start here today.
Well, Sun Bentley's also using his super as a reposition, not only as an obstacle. He was able to push Chaos into a very difficult position for a Poco to be in. Just seeing the tie come through, so we will go into the last siege to decide it all. But I love how Sun Bentley's using his super right now, not just to block, but also to move brawlers to his will.
Yeah, absolutely, especially with brawlers like Pam. Having that channel really does help kind of like get the most value from her shots. And yeah, this is definitely what CODEMAGIC needs to be doing right now as the time is ticking. And actually, if Clash do get a push here, it could be look at everyone, somebody blocking the entire side away so that his teammates can focus and get the takedown there. Really like that from Sun Bentley.
Yeah, Muniz there with the super, the attempt to try and get some kind of kill. Not going to happen there. 14 to 10. There's so many bolts on the field, but there's no clear winner with 8 seconds remaining. Bolts are still being put in, but I think CODEMAGIC Purple have done enough here to secure the lead. They will be charging to Clash's Ike with a level 16 siege bot, and there's going to be no retaliation they can make. This round's going the way of CODEMAGIC.
Yeah, it was a bit of a chance for Clash to come back, but they did not. CODEMAGIC standing firm with a dominant final push, and they will take that first game today.
There we have it. They're already taking the early lead. Still plenty to go, though. I'm not going to be a one-round Andy on this one and commit to a victor after just seeing only one map of play. But CODEMAGIC Purple did a very good job there of controlling the middle with the use of that Sprout. And it really made it difficult for Guille to get in here with that Frank as well. He was able to be constantly kept out of range from having substantial impact in the course of that round.
Yeah, absolutely. For me, the Frank pick just was not working at all. I didn't really remember seeing a super that, or at least one that connected with any kind of real substance. So I definitely think that would be a brawler to kind of highlight as a change. I think, you know, matching Sprout would be probably an idea to consider as well. But bearing in mind that, you know, CODEMAGIC can very, very easily mix things up. They've very much got the control in their hands right now. And, you know, we might see some changes from them as well going into the next game, just to keep Clash on their toes.
Yeah, I think there needs to be adaptations from both teams here. I think Clash is definitely going to change after they did get manhandled quite a lot there. And I assume that CODEMAGIC Purple has the initiative to also make some preemptive changes, maybe go, okay, that was good. How can we make this better?
Yeah, I mean, for me, though, Curse is probably going to stay Barley. He seemed to like the Barley emotes in that last game, so I think it's fair to say that he might want to continue that approach. But either way, that CODEMAGIC comp is working, and it was great to see Sun Bentley working so harmoniously with his teammates to really get the most out of those area denials of Sprout Super.
Absolutely, and yeah, it really, to me, I think the first push caught me off guard there with just how much damage was actually able to be put in over time because of that last call coming out from Barley. It did really like push that first push over the line. I think even if they didn't make it to that 40%, the amount of damage that was coming in from a level 16 siege bot in that final push would have still sealed the deal anyway. I think there was a lot of wiggle room at the end there. Changes coming in for Clash EU. They brought out the Barley, Pam, and they got the Max on the field now as well.
Yeah, I mean, good solid changes for me. I mean, Muniz already winning side against Cursed. It wasn't quite the brawlers that I expected, but definitely I feel like Max here is going to do a lot of wonders for Clash. The Pam pick is good, but you know, Cursed is running a thrower, so consider that in mind. Muniz will be looking to shut down Cursed so that Gear can get the most out of that healing station.
He's been able to do so a lot already on the Max as that siege bot will start getting some connection and some damage in for Clash. He's just dashing forward and getting on top of Cursed on every occasion to shut down this damage threat and deal with them handily. Max at close range is going to burn through these throwers.
Yeah, and already you see Curse changing lanes and Sun Bentley and Twisty both double teaming here to take down Gear and Muniz and looking better. But as the takedown is there for Muniz and Twisty, Sun on his own, and that is going to provide Clash all the area control they need to surely take this next round.
Absolutely, they've got the bulk control in the middle, they have mid control, they've got the early damage. That's going to be another siege bot coming in their way. Level 4 as it stomps down. Muniz just able to run circles around these teams. Thankfully, Twisted Trick shut him down before this bot came into range, so he's not going to have an opportunity to deal that damage, but he will be back for the next attempt at building some kind of bolt economy, because Clash are pulling away with this one, Ark, and they're only going to keep getting worse because they got that mid control. As a double kill comes out, that's going to give him such an amazing lead into this next phase of play.
Yeah, Max, for me, has absolutely turned this game around. Having that additional speed and just ability to juke and do all those things is really, really working in Clash's plan here. And yeah, they can start to kind of like feel better about their circumstances now. It's a tough beat straight off the bat and showing some fight here today.
That Sprout wall just at the end there made sure that we were going to see the Max go down there, unable to get out of range of the icon. Got burned down. Got ourselves quite a beefy siege bot coming in here as he will get onto the icon and start contesting it, knocking it down. The damage was there, and a great answer back from Clash.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that the change they made were absolutely the right ones. You know, they had to change something, and that's the thing. You know, being able to realize that, despite, you know, potentially that comp may well have worked out wonders for them in their scrims and their practice sessions. That might have been their dream comp, but you know, being able to sort of like stand down and say no, it's not working under these circumstances, and then you know, adjusting accordingly is what separates the best from just kind of your kind of average kind of pro player team. So great decision making there from Clash for me.
Well, they're able to slap back now. I wonder if we're going to see some more changes, because they can't run the Sprout, and they cannot run the Barley into that Max again under the same circumstances. You saw how fast he was able to juke out the damage, close the gap, get in their face with the own impressive damage that comes with a Max player. Yeah, change is now being forced by CODEMAGIC, so both times seems at a compositional disadvantage. It may just force CODEMAGIC to go, we'll just mirror you. We'll just try and beat you on the mirror.
Yeah. I did think in my head when you were just talking about that, that maybe like a Brock pick would be kind of good to kind of like break up the map and just kind of like really change the dynamic of this.
They've gone for the mirror, Ark.
Yeah, gone for the mirror. Yeah, I mean, not a bad idea. Definitely looks like that might be a good thing if the CODEMAGIC can sort of come together and take these side lanes, and it's all about sort of confirming these kills, and they already seem to be doing a better job of that. We're going to be seeing a level 3 push off the bat, and yeah, more kills by CODEMAGIC Purple in the early stages of this game.
I think that was just down to Sun Bentley playing safer than Chaos. Chaos allowed himself to get picked off by Curse, and Sun Bentley was nowhere near Muniz for it to happen. That being said, he did expose himself to get that last call in play, so he might go down here, but actually turned it around onto Muniz while that damage was being dealt. So even then, I think Sun Bentley is being the difference maker here on this Barley. He's just able to deal with the aggression so much better than Chaos has been able to so far.
Yeah, I like to see the same brawlers being used by a team, but the players being open to kind of like passing the mantle in that respect, and you know, sending that baton on to someone else to give that brawler a try, and definitely working out for CODEMAGIC here, and Sun playing it to perfection right now, and Muniz has been forced to the right side lane because even Muniz wasn't really able to break through and get the takedown on Sun.
So they're just conceding one half of the map, Ark. They just don't want to fight in that left lane. The siege bot's going to get into Ike territory, start tanking the damage. Curse finds a cheeky little angle here to still get that early hit in. They might just burn through the Ike on this attempt, and they're going to do it. Match over, and CODEMAGIC Purple take map number 1.
So a little bit of a momentum break when Clash came back in that second game, but nonetheless, few tweaks here and there, and CODEMAGIC Purple will take then the first set, and really like to see actually from both of these teams being open to change and adjusting things, but it's going to be CODEMAGIC Purple that those changes worked better for in the long run.
Substantial damage difference there for CODEMAGIC, nearly 80,000, no, over 80,000 in their favor. And it comes down to kills, it's kind of negligible, but the Bolt lead as well. Clash even had an edge there. I just think CODEMAGIC just man-loaded that and just out-damaged them and brute-forced their way to a victory.
Yeah, after that first push, I really like the place that Sun was able to secure his positioning over the pushback. And, getting that first push in Siege is so important to see what happens from beyond that point. But Layer Cake up next, and we have seen Clash have some great games in Bounty and actually on Layer Cake in particular. So, this is going to open up some different brawler picks, some more long-ranged options, and more of a chance to kind of like have a territorial impact on the map and take down some walls. So could be a chance for Clash to kind of like rethink things and get a couple more wins in their bag, really.
Yeah, we're looking to see if they can clap back on this one. We're heading over to Layer Cake next, the Bounty map, which is always a bit back and forth, very swingy depending on how they play. We've already shown a preference, I suppose, for mobility so far, but I imagine we're going to try and keep them at range. Traditional comps, I expect to see things like Piper, Brock, Mr. P coming out, maybe a Gene, depending on how they're fancying it. Tick, potentially. The standard ones would see on Layer Cake.
Yeah, we saw Jackie running riot last month in Layer Cake, so it'd be interesting to see whether her nerf has kind of like knocked her out of that element or whether actually she's still viable. It looks to me like Jackie seems to be in a better place. She's not kind of getting sort of like, being seen in every single game, but when she is on the game, she is being still able to provide a relatively decent impact into the outcome, as we saw earlier today in the Asia side of things. So, I think Jackie could be a good pick. It just depends on like where the meta lies now with Layer Cake.
I also think that we should be conscious of, we did see a lot of Bo being played as well, just to get that totem in previous months. I don't know if we'll see him out there, but you are right. We are going to end up seeing the Mortis. Right, he has to lose. He can break. Curse can do it. He can break the 100% win rate that Mortis currently has if he just loses. But I'm looking at the very vulnerable backline of the Piper and the Sprout, and I don't think it's going to go well for Clash right now.
Yeah, I mean, like, it was looking like a great start, but actually, you got to hand it to that play there by Clash using the Sprout wall just to trap CODEMAGIC Purple in their entirety in that spawn, and now actually Clash in a much better spot than they would have otherwise been. But I gotta say, I do like this very ballsy pick by Curse coming out with Mortis.
It's such a dishonest pick, Ark. It's such a cheesy pick that you just suddenly go, you know what, I'm going to play Mortis in round one, where everyone's expected to play squishier backline and ranged heroes, when Mortis can close the gap. This combo is disgusting by Twisty Twick and Cursed, just dropping the super and allowing him to cut through multiple members of the enemy team.
I love it. I love it. Normally, you might expect to see Mortis being played as like, a brawler when you're in a bit more of an advantageous position, but nope. Second set in and just, as Twisty gets a disgusting double kill there as well. And what a dominant start to Bounty from CODEMAGIC Purple.
He is just running around Clash. Nothing out of the ordinary here. We're expecting this to just be a victory for CODEMAGIC Purple. And much to my frustration, much to my dismay, it appears as though that 100% win record for Mortis will be sustained.
The more you get triggered, Tridd, the more I love it. And the BM from Cast as well. Oh, brilliant. I love to see Mortis coming into these competitive games and just mixing things up. And a dominant start to Bounty by CODEMAGIC Purple.
It can only happen once, Ark, though. We have not seen a correct me if I'm wrong, I don't believe we've seen a back-to-back Mortis.
I think we did. I think with the NA side, I think Bobby, may have done it.
Yeah, but NA's not exactly the most competitive region now, is it, compared to the other real reasons. Everyone knows APAC and Europe is where it's at.
Nonetheless, I think that when inevitably, I assume we'll see Mortis take a loss at some point, it'll be a happy day for you, and we look forward to seeing you grin from ear to ear.
Right, 13 seconds remaining. Like I said, we don't imagine the Mortis will be played again in this regard because it is very good at catching enemies off guard, and then there's a lot of answers to it, which is why you typically don't see Mortis being played. I think that we'll see more traditional comps moving into this next map.
Yeah, really keen to see what the players do bring. I think Sprout was a good pick by Clash.
Slambulance.
Is it Slambulance? Yeah, that's a really, really solid choice by CODEMAGIC Purple, and yeah, not too much different from Clash, but Max might be able to get them out of some type spots, I guess.
All right, well, it's gonna have the Poco's gonna be able to heal out up there, moving in Curse and Twisty Twix. So this trap has already been laid for Clash. They're just trying to box them in. Twisty Twix gonna go ahead. Took too much damage on the entry, but Cursed is able to walk forward and box Guille into a corner, picking up 2 kills on the way out. But Cursed will lose his life. Great counterattack from Clash to bring the stars level.
Yeah, great start. I really do like that early aggression from CODEMAGIC Purple, putting Clash right into the corner. But, you know, if they can start to kind of finalize these kills, as they do there with a takedown of Sunbending on that left-hand side, if they can continue just to kind of deflate this from CODEMAGIC Purple, one player at a time, because this comp really does depend on all 3 players being in their survival mode, like, and just being at high HP. If you can just start to eradicate one by one the players, then it will deflate this this aggression that we're seeing from CODEMAGIC Purple.
If you let this comp move in as a death ball, you are going to lose. They're making conscious decisions to destroy as much cover as possible. The Super didn't have the range there to get Guille to safety. So there's 1 star in it, and there's not a lot of places for CODEMAGIC Purple to hide, as they're still trying to find ways to get around cover. Muniz will help them try and disengage from this fight. The Max is going to be really helpful here, but Twisty Twix found him. That's another kill coming in. CODEMAGIC Purple can now retreat with a 7-star advantage. The Clash can go on the hunt quite fast. Muniz finds 1 to bring it down to 4. If they find Curse, this is all over.
Yeah, Twisty was smart there, just taking the opportunity to kind of distract and make the fire in more to him. But now look at this. Curse going in, looking a little bit like, I think this could be a good defense here for CODEMAGIC Purple. 3 seconds left. Yeah, it should be okay. Yeah, they're good.
Not a chance. CODEMAGIC Purple hold onto it. That's a 2-0 clapping, as they will now go to series points.
Wow, this is turning very, very quickly towards it being a very good start for CODEMAGIC Purple. I like the ability to sort of just mix up the comp and keep Clash on their toes, and you know, it does go to show that if you are a little bit, you know, bold in your decision-making process, then it can pay off. But I think, you know, with that particular comp as well, staying alive as a team is so important, and that could have gone for or against CODEMAGIC Purple, but they were able to stand firm, and it went for them in that case.
I'm just looking at the damage.
That is disgusting.
The fact that Clash dealt over double the damage of CODEMAGIC Purple, but just couldn't seal the deal on these kills. You could easily look at that and go, well, that's just HP pool difference, right? You look at the difference in brawlers that are being played. There's a lot more beefiness on the side of CODEMAGIC Purple. There's a lot more damage that needs to be dealt to confirm those kills. And I think that's just indicative of the compositions that were played. Our last stop could go ahead and beat the Hard Rock Mine, and it's going to be a gem grab to close things out potentially if CODEMAGIC Purple have their way.
Yeah, a really, really classic gem grab map. But yeah, some of these stats today have been kind of crazy, right? I mean, that is just insane. We saw earlier in the last games, like I think probably like the lowest kills ratio in heist in that region. It's just kind of crazy when you look at it on paper like that. And yeah, everything was kind of going for Clash in the stats, but kills are what matter in bounty, and that's what CODEMAGIC were able to secure more over than Clash.
Absolutely, they were able to seal the deal. So 2-0 scoreline for CODEMAGIC Purple, one map away from getting their first victory and breaking the Clash prophecy of being guaranteed these series wins, or being guaranteed these finals wins when they actually make it to the final. CODEMAGIC Purple's doing a good job of stopping that from happening by potentially giving them the first L this early on.
Yeah, and you know, CODEMAGIC Purple tied at the top of the leaderboards last month with PSG, so PSG not having the best of days today. CODEMAGIC are going to be looking to really kind of like extend their lead on the leaderboard and not be drawing in points this time around, but having a healthy lead over the second place spot. So that will be very much on their minds today. And but even so, like, not really showing many nerves today. It seems very, very confident choices on the playing field, and that I think is a good sign for me.
Yes, to be able to take the initiative, break what is usually seen as conventional to give yourself an early edge. We're jumping into our first map of our gem grab. And we're going to be seeing Gene, Max, and a Sandy for the first time today.
Yeah, Sandy's
a Rico as well.
Yeah, ooh. I was more surprised at the Rico, to be honest, but Sandy's in a great spot meta-wise, but if you can kind of just keep your lane on lockdown, Rico can do wonders on Hard Rock Mine. Not really as well as often played as we used to see Rico on Hard Rock Mine, but definitely for me, a good choice to pick if you're able to land those shots.
See if he can actually do it. Early gem lead for CODEMAGIC Purple. They've been given the speed boost to get themselves in range to grab those gems. Curse taking on the duty as gem carrier, as you mostly do see with Genes. One going down, Twisty Hook feeling the hurt, Chaos and Muniz Guille. They're ignoring some Bentley. They want to try and lock down the gem carrier. Super being burned by Chaos. We'll get the kill. I don't know if he can get these gems out though. Great deterrence by re-engaging a Super to clear Twisty Twig out and get themselves a 7-gem lead.
Yeah, a bit of a tight spot. Clash were able to get the gems out. I think actually it was Chaos not running Robo Retreat there, which would have been the preferred star power in that instance of being low, getting the gems out. But nonetheless, a bit of a changing of hands. And to be fair, Muniz picking up those gems from Chaos is probably the more preferred position for Clash to find themselves, actually.
I feel it's very risky for Muniz to stick around there so aggressively to try and find that shot onto Cursed, but he did get the reinforcements from his team quickly just to make sure that they're not losing control of the mid. Speed boost from Guille to move him around. Sun Bentley is there, he's got the range, he can't really juke the Sandy because of the spread. We will end up getting down to the crossfire from Muniz and Chaos. Another one obliterated. This Rico getting so much value. Twisty Twig managing to get 7 gems, but he cannot go down. This is far from ideal to have your Max be the gem carrier.
I was absolutely about to say the same. Twisty having 7 gems is not really the place that he wants to be in, but if he can get a takedown here on Chaos, then it will provide him a little bit of breathing space in this left-hand side lane. But now Clash are on countdown, and there's not really any chance that CODEMAGIC Purple can get gems from the middle, but Clash are low. If Twisty can capitalize, he does. He
gets the cancel. The thing is, they don't even need to go and get those gems. They've just bought enough time for the gem spawner to make more.
Exactly. They can now hold the mid control. And there you see Twisty able to actually cancel the countdown straight away. 1 gem from the middle will put them on countdown, but they still need to hold firm on the mid. Yes. CODEMAGIC Purple do need to stay here and get this 1 more gem at least in the pocket, and then still survive.
Oh no! Right, they need to put. Right, this is a good opportunity to switch over gem control right now. They can get Curse to pick these up instead and play it safe. He has to dodge Chaos, who's behind him. He's having to pop a gadget to stay alive there from the heel. The countdown still comes in. They cannot let Clash get control of these gems as Twisty Twig is forced back into this uncomfortable position.
Wow, what a back and forth play from CODEMAGIC Purple, but Twisty able to survive. Got to hand it to Clash with a good, solid takedown of Curse, predicting that he was going to go for the gems, but my goodness me, that was very back and forth in the first game of Gem Grab.
Yeah, that could have swung either way looking at how that went down, but like I said, Twisty Twig, he was able to adapt well there, not really being beaten out too much by the prospect of having to be gem carrier. You know, the team was able to adapt well with him not being able to go as aggressively as he would have liked to in some of these engagements, but that extra mobility was great at playing keep away with the gems once he got to that threshold. It's just unfortunate that Curse couldn't keep hold of the gems after they had a good opportunity to do an exchange there quite safely, but you've got an incredibly aggressive Rico of all brawlers in your backline somehow, just spraying down damage from behind. It's really hard to deal with when you're getting assaulted from 2 different angles. It's not really surprising that Curse went down.
Yeah, I was just about to say, for me, Chaos was playing a fantastic Rico in that game, and you know, I didn't really feel like his teammates were able to kind of provide him with as much support as he perhaps would have liked, and had that been the case, we might have seen a different outcome. Be interesting to see now, like, what brawler comp changes we see from Clash, but I gotta say, the Rico pick was kind of working for me there.
I wonder if they're going to stick with it as we're moving into round 2. They've changed off it. They've got a Sandy, a Gene, and a Max that are going for the mirror in what could be the final round of the series.
Yeah, interesting decision there just to kind of match the comp and, try to sort of hope that CODEMAGIC Purple would stay on that comp. But yeah, I did feel like Chaos was getting a lot of value as Rico. So, but it's still a very, very good comp to run nonetheless, of course.
Tridd going aggressive straight onto Muniz. He wants to get those gems and get out. A nice hit and run. But Guille will shut him down on the exit. Luckily, Sam Bentley there, ready to go ahead and grab the gems. Puts the super in the center to give him better control over the spawner. Curse is going to give us some healing as TwistyTwig will look for his next opportunity to go aggressive and shut this down. 7-0 with the gem counts. This is a dominant start from CODEMAGIC. They just need to keep it up right now. Guille got the super online. So is Muniz. That could turn it around in an instant.
Yeah, and worth remembering that CODEMAGIC Purple are on match point. It's gone by so quickly. I almost didn't realize there's great takedowns there from Clash. It's going to put Curse in an awkward spot, depending upon his teammates to tank some of these shots to get back that mid control. So actually a good turnaround here from Clash and starting to slow the pace of CODEMAGIC Purple.
And also they've burned through enough time to get themselves some gems back. Chaos with a great pull, looking for the kill. TwistyTwig not able to land the shot, so they're going to lose a lot of gems for this one, Ark. But TwistyTwig able to reclaim at least some of them. But yet again, the Max being the gem carrier is not it, Chief.
Yeah, no, I mean, a great advantage point there that IKS took advantage of.
Great down. Oh, huge pull as well.
Great from Curse. Twisty is able to pick up the gems, and now CODEMAGIC Purple 15 seconds away from taking this game against Clash.
Just going to wait it out. TwistyTwig is the person with the gems. Now this is when you want the Max to be the gem carrier, to play keep away. And he's going to be able to do that. Pops the super, gets the mobility. There's not a chance in Clash shutting it down. And the L has been delivered. Clash may not pull away with their first monthly final win that we expect them to see.
A great start from CODEMAGIC Purple. I've got to say, they look very, very comfortable today, very confident, and that, I think, is going to continue on today unless we see some big changes from their opposition. But yeah, fantastic games. Very exciting to watch CODEMAGIC Purple progressing as they are in this competition, and there we see the stats as well.
Every time, Ark, Clash are out damaging CODEMAGIC.
It's 75 gems in the pocket for CODEMAGIC Purple. Quite a substantial number over Clash there.
Well, let's take it over to Dan, who's going to change us over to the next round.
Just what a dominating performance from CODEMAGIC Purple. Exactly as Tridd said a moment ago, it looks like Clash are not going to be winning this month. They simply cannot. After losing to CODEMAGIC Purple's flawless victory, Clash's routine of winning every monthly finals that they qualify for, well, that's down the toilet. But let's talk about MVP, and let's talk a little about Sam Bentley, who was just a key member of all of these sets that we saw in the last match. Let's take a look at some of the best moments, starting with Barley in the games of Siege. And you know what Barley does in Siege, just a fantastic job of locking down the center, creating these choke points, and also dealing that damage to the Ike whilst being able to keep a reasonable distance away. Then moving on to Bounty, where with Poco being able to support the team, healing up Mortis, healing up Rosa, it was just phenomenal. And then finally in Gem Grab with Sandy, getting in close, dealing that damage, using the super, which created the field basically around the whole map, allowing the entire team to push. It was outstanding and a truly deserved victory for CODEMAGIC Purple. Let's take a look at the bracket and see what things are looking like right now, as CODEMAGIC Purple took down Clash with a 3-0 set score. Tribe Gaming are going to have some serious work to do if they want to take down and overtake CODEMAGIC Purple. I think we have got some exciting games coming up. The next match, the penultimate match of the day, it is going to be Tribe Gaming against Clash. Now, this is Clash's chance to redeem themselves. If they want to win this group, they need now a flawless victory against Tribe, and then they need Tribe to get the flawless victory against CODEMAGIC Purple. It seems like a long shot, doesn't it? Ah, well, let's talk about these fantastic players. Starting with Tribe, we got Spen, Tom, and Symantec. Spen wanted me to point out that Symantec still has a bunch of brawlers that have no trophies. Wait, no, hang on. Ben wanted me to point out that Semantic never stops going on about the fact that he has a bunch of brawlers that have no trophies. A very specialized player, I guess. It's not all jokes though, as Ben did say to me that the team has synergized exceptionally well ever since Semantic joined them. Maybe Semantic was the key to victory. Let's take a look once again at CODEMAGIC EU. What we have Guille, iChaos, Trebor, and iMules. Trebor was tweeting yesterday about how insane he thinks Gale is. I said this a little earlier. It sounds like Gale's balance changes really shook up the meta, and he got much better. No wonder we've started seeing him banned now, in this group specifically. Guille also said to me that he and the team are developing slowly. Step by step, they're progressing, they're improving. They want to see that consistency get better. Not a very optimistic start for them, but we'll have to see how they can do against Tribe in this next match.
Thank you very much, Falcone. We're hopping into the 5th match of the day, where we've got Tribe going up against CODEMAGIC EU. CODEMAGIC, the team in the lead right now, 4th place on the global leaderboard and 2nd in Europe. I know you had a lot to say about the Americas versus EU regional matchup here, Tridd, but what are you expecting from this match coming up next?
CODEMAGIC looked a little bit lost in that first game. I think they were able to execute on a lot of their plans, but CODEMAGIC Purple had their number. I think this will be a good litmus test on whether this is a slightly weaker than usual CODEMAGIC in this monthly final, or whether just CODEMAGIC is just playing on another level today. I think that Tribe has been an impressive team. I don't know if on their best day they'd be able to take down CODEMAGIC.
Well, they have been ascendant in this region, on a rise over the past several months, and taking a lot of note from fans. Spen LC, Tom, and Symantec are certainly some of the most flashy players. They have had some of the most interesting highlight moments of the competition so far, but I gotta say CODEMAGIC has got a more storied history on their side. I think that they're a bit more conservative in their play style, or maybe even a bit more reliable. We'll see if that history, bringing them up to the 2nd place right now in the EU leaderboard, is going to be enough to overcome these upstart ruffians from Tribe Gaming.
So the triple tank for CODEMAGIC EU is very interesting. Usually we see some kind of utility provided with them, but they're just going to try and brawl out Tribe in this heist matchup. Meanwhile, Semantic bringing the Sakura spike to the field as well.
Interesting play. We're going to see a roll in from Daryl over on the left. But yeah, this brawler comp is very beefy from CODEMAGIC EU. Very rarely do you see such a heavy super triple tank comp, except in the heist game mode. Big heavy hits now on the safe as CODEMAGIC EU are trying to strike, but check out the top side. Carl has dealt a ton of damage to that safe, and it's a lead for Tribe Gaming, taking CODEMAGIC all the way down into the 30s.
Yeah, that was a great counterattack there from Tribe, able to just leave Tom over there to deal with his own thing. I think the threat for Tribe right now is if you allow all 3 of these tanky units to make a connection on the safe, that damage difference between your brawlers is not going to matter because there's just too many of them. And they're going to charge straight through. Muniz already on the safe. Gale actually pushing Chaos into safe range was unusual. And he's going to try and go for it as Muniz is waiting for the ammo charges to come back. Forced away from the Gale super, so he will deal with it. And Tom able to get a great answer in there as well, dropping it down to 10-11% HP.
Tom is just the perfect split between super tanky brawler and really high damage output at a range. He doesn't have to be right up close and personal to that safe the way that Bull or Rosa or Daryl do to have to get the damage in there. That's why you see Tribe Gaming pulling ahead for the lead right now, just getting little pop shots whenever they get a chance on that safe. Here we go for the next wave of the attack, though. CODEMAGIC EU having to defend with all their might. They're safe down into the 11% range now. Have to get a consistent pressure up against Tribe Gaming, and it doesn't look like it's going to happen. Symantec on the counterattack is going to fire away at that save, and that's going to be
No, he's been taken out there.
Killed
there. Guille's still alive. He's going for it. Spen also being dropped by Guille. 1%. If Chaos could just touch it, Muniz goes in with a charge. And the tanky lineup wins with a 3% difference.
What an incredible shutdown by Clash, taking so many hits from that Carl, but able to keep the pressure up. That heavy hit line out in front would not go down. So much damage being dished out by Symantec, but not enough to compete with the high hit point totals on this 3-tank squad brought by Clash. Well done to them. Vindicated in their off-meta pick here, going for all 3 tanks on this heist game.
Yeah, that bounce by Guille at the end was clean. He dodged out all of the damage coming from Gale at the end by bouncing off the back wall to get around it and then able to finish him off and get the save connection. That small mid micro, if he didn't execute on that perfectly and got caught up by that last bit of damage, we may have been seeing a completely different result.
You're right about that, Tridd. And you know what? I think that players who are running Gale kind of tend to get a little bit maybe complacent in their play style. They have such a wide range of attack. Gale just forces out so many bolts in a wave in front of him that you kind of assume that something's going to hit. When Daryl was so far down, I think it was just kind of taken for granted that he was going to be finished off with that last hit. But the high maneuverability on that super, knowing exactly when to use it, kind of reminds me of what we saw from Carl in matches prior, using that super at just the right second to be able to dodge an incoming killing blow and deliver the final shot on the enemy save. Beautiful play there by Clash. Well rewarded in game number 1.
Tribe are happy with their composition. They're going to stick with it, but the change comes in from Clash. They bring a Gale. They brought Nita to the field as well, and the Carl coming in from Nunez. They've made changes, and they've already paying dividends. This Spen is the first person to go down.
They're going to keep the pressure up, though. Tribe continuing to fire away at this Clash EU line, now getting reinforced as Spin is returning to action here. Gale Force wins, pushing back on Muniz, and that's going to be an opportunity for Symantec to make a little poke over there, forcing out that big play from Chaos on defense to push him back. No damage on either safe yet, Tridd.
Great sweep round by Tom. Gets one and backs out immediately. They're not overcommittal, they're just trying to gain territory and move that line of attrition close to the enemy safe so that when they can get a pick, they can move in on a full offensive.
Nita's Hyper Bear can deal a ton of damage to that safe in a very short amount of time. Keep an eye on Tribe Gaming. They're going to have to focus down Guille if he ever gets close to the safe. Nita firing away, but not a long-range brawler, having to take a few shots on the chin and hoping that excuse me, I keep on calling Gale Jean, hoping that Gale and Carl over there on the left side can get one of those brawlers down. Hopefully Symantec, that would give a weakened left flank out there for Clash EU to be able to take advantage of.
Tom's doing a great job of weaving these pickaxes around the corners and getting some safe damage off on Guille and the rest of Clash. But no one's dealt any damage to the safe yet. Finally, we see a bit of tick damage being applied to Clash's safe. Spen goes forward, finds that kill. This is the offensive we're looking for. Tom gets one of his own as he tries to move into range and just gets some initial pickaxe damage, but he needs to shut down Guille because the Hyper Bear is about to connect, and they did an amazing job at defending that one.
Yeah, excellent job there to Guille. Saw Tom on his safe, but instead of choosing to try to play defense, instead goes on the attack and pulls that Carl off. That's going to be a tiny, slim advantage for Tribe Gaming now, as they've got just a 2% lead against Clash EU. This has been a very hyper defensive game so far, Tridd, and it's still anyone's. Whoever gets the lead on this midfield play for this round of action might be the determinant.
He's opened up on the back line. Woody Muniz is in range as well. He might pop the super and go for it. Clash's safe is taking a lot of damage. Great pushback from Spen, shuts it down, and it keeps Tribe in the lead.
Tribe ahead, but Chaos is not done yet. Continues firing away at the safe. Can he get a big hit in there? Not finding it yet. The final hit from Nita is not enough. That's going to be a win for Tribe Gaming. Their defenses hold off, and Tom will be the star player from that game number 2.
I completely agree with that one. Able to dive into the back line and find an opportunity to create that damage opportunity on the Clash's safe, meaning that they're able to stay in the lead. The only limitation of Carl's damage really right now is how you're deciding to bounce your pickaxe and get that attack speed reset. Obviously, he got a slight damage buff in the most recent patch, so he's even more effective at breaking through these safes.
Curasa is screaming in Twitch chat, "This is not bounty!" Why are they so focused on getting brawler kills on the other side when the main goal here is to take down the safe? Well, I'll tell you, they're not running those heavy damage output, really burst damage styles of brawler comps. Instead, they really are trying to play for field advantage, get that sneaky kill, and then be able to swipe down on the left or right lane. That was a really tit-for-tat, closely even match right there, and that's why you saw them working so hard in the midfield to gain advantage rather than going just all-out offensive.
Okay, same picks coming out. Tribe Gaming still keeping with the same comp as with the same as CODEMAGIC. So this slow battle we're often seeing is just about pushing the line of the offense closer to the enemy safe so they can have a better opportunity and a longer window to get damage onto the safe without sacrificing too much. CODEMAGIC are doing a much better job this time around at stopping Tribe from pushing that line.
Back at the equalizer spot here. No big brawler comp switches, but wow, a great kill from Tom. Carl swinging away with his super is able to get the first kill and follows up with taking down Guille now. CLASH in dire straits as they're just being chained. Back-to-back kills from Tribe Gaming have given them the lead and a push up into CLASH spawn.
Okay, so there's an opportunity here. Chaos dropping a new spring enables them a great spot to get out of the chokehold that Tribe were trying to place on them, and it gives them a backdoor potential should Tribe go too aggressive and get punished.
All right, we're seeing a reestablishment now. Guille making an aggressive push out of the left lane, hiding in those bushes for a little while, but not going to let Symantec get any easy shots off. He's already hitting the safe now. There's no hyper barrier to back up this push, but that's a nice counterattack there from CLASH pulling ahead in the base race game now. The damage lead for Guille. He's just being ignored by the enemy team.
But they're not giving him super while he's doing this, so he's not going to get the bear online. It's going to take him a little bit longer to break the safe. Tribe are just making a sprint to try and catch kills, but also get onto the safe. And they found only one in the enemy spawn, but really it's only Symantec who's been able to get onto the safe. He's trying to deal as much damage as he can. That's a huge amount of burst, but their own safe is left exposed. They're waiting for Tom to try and be the savior here, but he can't get in. The respawns have shut him down, and CLASH have a 5% advantage.
Close range damage from a spike is nothing to sneeze at. That's a huge hit for Symantec. Advantage remains in the favor of CLASH though. Even if you give them time to hit at your safe, that heavy output from the CLASH squad is going to give them the lead so far. There's only 13 seconds left. The last chance to attack for Tribe Gaming. Can they pull off the win?
Tom has to get super and go in. He has to. He's been stunned up by the Nita Bear. The Hyper Bear makes the connection. He's got that super, but he's nowhere nearby. Symantec runs in, and he will find the damage needed. Tribe Gaming take map number 1.
Awesome job to Tribe Gaming, behind but not out and willing to risk it all in those last seconds. CLASH knew that they didn't have enough time to counter that final push, and without any control of the map, were just left hopeless up on the top, trying their best to defend, but not able to against a squad with so much long-range damage. Carl and Spike closing in on that safe at the last seconds, dropping their supers, firing away with everything they had, and well rewarded for it. Take a look at the scoreline now.
Yeah, you can see the massive difference there. 130,000 points worth of damage difference. Safes, 10k as well. So it's a sizable margin that Tribe were working with an advantage in that particular matchup, but it was incredibly close in a couple of instances. Looking ahead to our next map, we're heading over to Gem Grab, and it's Double Swoosh.
Double Swoosh, Gem Grab map now in play. We haven't seen these teams compete before, and we're finally getting a chance to watch these two top-ranked European squads up against each other. CLASH struggling, though, to keep pace against a Tribe team that we've said has been ascendant and is now within striking distance. They're trying to pick up a win here because we're on the downhill of these qualifiers, Tridd. We're running out of time for squads like Tribe Gaming, which have 150 points. Really admirable performance so far, but not yet in that world qualifying spot.
No surprise here. You see the bow and the Tara being brought out into Double Swoosh. Drop the super totem. Tara can give that exposure, but it's also great at getting onto the back line when it comes to taking down gem carriers, which look to be both for both teams here.
All right, gem spawning here in the center. Imuna is going to grab the first couple, but can we get the win off this bow? Great little totems set up on each side of the map, going to be able to charge up the supers for each of these players, but no advantage yet for either team, Tridd.
Gonna drop the mines. Great commit there from Muniz to get rid of the super totem, but you only have a finite amount of those as a bow, and that's already 2 being spent from Spen. There's been no answer to try and get rid of Muniz on the other side as the fight keeps happening, so there's gonna be a significant super advantage on the side of Clash now.
Yeah, big advantage there, and they're going to try their best to leverage it, but Muniz is really in a tough spot here. He's basically on a 1v3 right now, but Semantic and Spin both taking big hits early on, are not willing to push that advantage. Semantic at the right side actually manages to go all the way in and gets the kill, but won't be able to grab those gems. EA playing defense now is going to pop that gadget and give full range control here to the Clash EU squad. Super right on top of that is going to give them a big lead in the midfield fight, and that's going to be a gem advantage once again for Clash.
Yeah, and they've been able to get all of those gems onto Bo, their dedicated carrier, which enables Chaos and also Guille to play more aggressively as they're trying to push Semantic back from this aggressive path. Spen got 6 gems, wants to press forward and keep Muniz at bay. We'll find a connect on a couple of the bolts, but he's outside of range while still being on the gem spawner. This is really hard for Tribe and Clash to try and push forward, but there's that final super totem finally taken out, so there's no more super totems on the board for either of these teams right now.
Surprising aggression from Muniz, who went really far down, almost got eliminated there by Spen, and that is going to cost him. Hasn't been able to reclaim control of the mid yet, and the advantage now is on the side of Tribe Gaming. If Semantic grabs that gem, this could be a countdown in their favor. They're going to slow it down, though, and not going to try to go for it just yet. Instead, going to go for the 11 gem count. Now they can retreat safely, and as long as they hold on to these gems, they should be fine. In fact, Semantic can go down, and as long as 2 gems haven't been grabbed by Clash, the countdown will continue. It's going to be defensive play from Tribe Gaming. 4 seconds left. They're holding on, Tridd.
Great response there by Tribe Gaming, able to play that one slow and go for the long game. They're able to get those gems and get back to safety. So they're trying to keep momentum from game 1 as they take the first round of gem grab.
Well done to them. They're able to counter those early stabs from Clash EU, and it seemed like the advantage that Clash was building up was going to be hard to overcome, but with a double kill against the Gale and Tara on the back lane, there was nothing that Clash EU could do to keep their firepower up. Muniz forced back. He was really wanting to play super aggressively. You could see him diving in toward that middle, even without any backup from the rest of his team. He had the early lead, but he couldn't keep a hold of it, and hey, you can play risky all you want, but if you ain't got the shots, you're not going to get the win. Great attempt there, the Clash EU, but Tribe Gaming will hold on.
We can try again. Same comp as expected. No reason to change off. Semantic going down the right-hand lane. Still, super totems being deployed. Going to pop the gadget to give a read of where everyone is on the map and start opening up the gameplay.
Tara, a very popular brawler on these maps that have got a lot of bushes on it. That gadget is super handy, and she got even more popular with the recent round of balance changes. I think that Tribe Gaming doing their best to force up into the top is going to get rewarded once again here. Tom using that gadget early on here to try to get the lead, not waiting a single moment. If he can get a good amount of value out of that gadget, he's going to take that chance.
Difference in star power being used here. Guille went for the more offensive Tara star power, where he's going to have that clone go and start attacking enemies after being deployed. Whereas Tom opted to go for the heal instead, which is going to give him a little bit more sustain and rely on his own damage and play a little bit more aggressively than what you might see from Clash's Tara.
Still, we've got a relatively even scoreline here. The gems are still stacking up on both sides, but a nice kill from Semantic and a steal from Tom going all the way into the enemy bush line.
Great catch by Guille,
taken down.
Will shut down that timer, which means it enables Muniz to get in here and collect those gems and reset the state of play. Not going to go for that other gem. It would have made him too vulnerable and risk losing the clutch moment he just brought back for his team.
I wish that they had, though. Chaos and Guille were both really heavily damaged. It was just Muniz charging into the middle that got those gems. Tribe Gaming might have won it all right then and there, but hey, the conservative play is going to hold off the countdown at least. Another kill on iChaos, making a desperate charge into the enemy now. Spen is looking really hard to catch up to, and I don't think that there's any way for Clash to make a comeback happen.
I don't think they will. Their only gems are on Muniz, who's just gone down as well, and Spen's so far back. They can't actually contest this one. Semantic will pick up those 6 gems as well. There's not a chance that Clash are going to come back into this one, and Tribe Gaming go 2-0 in the series.
Spen, an absolute monster, grabbing onto those gems and clutching them with an iron fist, not letting them go during that whole match. Congratulations to Drive picking up the second set, and that is really going to put them far ahead. So difficult to make a comeback at this point. We have seen it happen, though, in the past. The CODEMAGIC squad, I remember back in April, picked up the first 2 sets and lost 3 in a row. So don't count this CLASH EU team out just yet. They have the advantage on the leaderboard overall, but have really been falling behind this month so far, Tridd.
Yeah, they've been, like I said, the upsets not upsets, reverse sweeps can happen, right? Let's look at ourselves. It's happened at the monthly finals. It happens all the time. What I would point out, though, is that CLASH, it's been quite, especially in Gem Grab, it's much more one-sided than what we saw in Heist. And I'm worried if momentum's getting in the way here, and Tribe seem to be in an incredibly strong place right now. We may just see it end here on Brawl Ball as we head over to Triple Dribble.
Yeah, this Tribe squad is the cock of the walk. I don't know what to tell you, Tridd. They're very active on social media. They're funny and fun guys. They've been practicing a lot together, and you can see from the chat that they've got a lot of fans on their side right now. That really gives you a big psychological advantage. If you feel like you're going to win, that often plays out in the arena. CLASH EU, having lost in the first match, definitely didn't get much momentum at all from that, and are playing weak and behind right now. They've got that lead on the lead. They got the advantage on the leaderboard right now, but anything can happen in the coming months. And as we saw earlier in the Asia region, it's a chance for upset teams to make their names known. Tribe Gaming so far are doing a great job at making that happen. They just need one more set now. Is Brawl Ball going to be the last nail in the coffin?
Late starters to the monthly finals, but we're glad they're here. I particularly like them. We've got a couple of Brits in there. We love to see it. We love to see it indeed. As Chaos is going to take a little bit of damage from Spen and Tom. Doing that damage. Chaos in a really vulnerable spot right now. Took too much from the pickaxe, and now Tom's going to go forward. He's got that super ready to deploy as well. Guille next to the sight lines as Spen will pass it down. Muniz, only person to block. Respawns weren't there, but the kills were. Chaos now vulnerable to attack. They are boxing CLASH in front of their goal so early into this round.
That was an incredible strike from Tribe Gaming, and I'm actually a little bit surprised that they get a goal out of that. Great pull there to get a kill on Chaos, but it's still a 3-2, and not yet.
Tom's going to clean this up.
Tom goes for the charge. The super is killer.
Well, Chaos is able to block it out, stun him up, but no one's exposing it. Great use of it again. He's generating these super so fast. He's keeping his team in the game as Tom will be kept down. That should have been a goal for Tribe Gaming.
And yet they persist. CLASH EU's defenses have been so difficult to crack into. A pull and then a push. Gene and Gale are starting to cancel each other out now, and Guille will somehow survive that big struggle in the center.
The hokey cokey is being played outside of position right now. You need to get one attack in before you send them back out. Otherwise, this keeps happening. You burn 2 supers and get no kills. And look at it. Oh! Chaos ends up getting the goal because of it. Get it together, Tribe. Pull.
What has just happened?
Push.
It seemed like the brawler kills were going way in Tribe's favor early on, but CLASH EU, just this wave of destruction sweeping through the Tribe baseline.
No.
Tom trying to get another kill there, but not able to keep it up. Muniz tosses it out to safety, and
no!
To go for Spen. It's gonna be a retire.
No, I'm not right. CLASH played that very well, but I'm gonna say it. Tribe Gaming choked that round. They choked it so hard, Woody. So many decisions went wrong with that one. They're not getting the ults coordinated. They're not getting the supers coordinated correctly, so they're allowing people to be pushed around, but they're not getting kills. They're not finding a way to get themselves any kind of kill confirmation despite the super committed. And then when it comes to the use of these jump pads, they're messing it up. You place the jump pad right in front of your goal, and then you click on it as Gale and stop yourself from being a goal line defender from a rush from the other Gale that's come behind you. You didn't pay attention to them, and you messed up the counter attack. That is CLASH capitalizing on some big Tribe Gaming mistakes.
I am just left gasping for air on that last game. Chaos is the most valuable player to this CLASH squad right now, far and above. His supers knocking back enemy Tribe defenders just enough to toss the ball back past the goal line, then dribbling it past the defenses. and getting the second goal right on top. What a series of plays for Clash EU, holding on for dear life, but getting that win against a Tribe squad that seemed dominant.
It's great opportunistic play from Clash to capitalize on those mistakes and manage to get it through. And I agree with you, Chaos has been playing well. They're not taking any chances. Spen takes him out immediately with that magic hand. Guille was already in the spawn room as he comes back out. The box has been closed from Tribe Gaming. Let's not have the mistakes we saw last time. Semantic with a great super. Can't find the damage to fire Muniz by his own, but it does take him out of play temporarily. Guille going forward, forces the super from Tom. He turns it back around, still giving them man advantage, but nothing to work with until that pull comes in. Opens up the goal. Great gadget use. They need to get it over the line. Charge it in. Tom will score that goal.
Nice job to Tribe Gaming getting the first pickup here in game number 2, not letting that first loss get to them. They were so strong in the beginning of game number 1 as well, and finally they've been rewarded for that big offense, making the play past the goal line now, but Clash EU are on the counterattack. A big charge from Carl here, but Guille will not make it past thanks to a great defensive super there from Symantec, pushes him back, and it's going to be another chance for Tribe Gaming to get this ball into play.
Chaos tried to get some clearance, move Semantic and Tom away from the goal, but even then, Spen still would have been alive to block that shot. So we'll buy more time. 1 minute remaining as the ball's up in the court. Tom pushing it into the back right corner. Great super will lock up Muniz and Guille. Another pull to secure the kill. This is what we need to see from Tribe. More kill confirmation as they burn through the clock while they maintain the lead. Great super again. Angle found by Spen and a kill comes in.
Oh, poor Chaos. He was set up to try to recover and boost his Clash teammates into a counterattack, but just was under repressing fire from both of these players now, Spen and Symantec, forcing him back, but somehow Chaos has survived, drops another super, and isn't able to get the kill here. As long as Spen can toss to Toxic Tom, he should be able to dribble it in. That's gonna be it! Toxic Tom equalizes this set with a 2-0 win over Clash EU.
Series point for Tribe Gaming now. One more round of Brawl Ball will give them the victory this month, and it means that they will send Clash EU to a 0-2 scoreline at this monthly final, which is a stark contrast from what we usually see from this stellar team.
Yeah, terrifying position for a squad that has been so killer in live events. Trebor, one of the players for Clash EU, was benched in this month of play, and that might be just what is hurting Clash so much, not able to keep up the momentum that they've had from so many months of success. They still have got a big point score advantage over Tribe, even if they go down this month. But this is just about all the wiggle room that they have to give to Tribe at this point. They really want to try to get some set scores, their set score up on the board, because I mean, at this point, what sort of case can you make for Clash with Tribe stomping them set after set and now being 1 point away from the win?
Yeah, I don't like to highlight this point, but I'm going to have to do it again. That round win that came through Brawl Ball, that was Clash capitalizing on Tribe Gaming mistakes. Tribe Gaming lost that round. Clash didn't win it.
Solid case to be made there, but I gotta bounce back to iChaos. I think he's done a great job keeping Clash competitive in this Brawl Ball match so far. If Clash EU gets the win here, it's going to be off of his back-to-back chained supers, just wiping the floor with Tribe Gaming, sweeping them apart. I think Tribe did an awesome job, though, in game number 2, countering that, repositioning, trying to make sure that they weren't stacked up so that Gale could get first shot off against their squad. And if they're able to keep the positioning the way that they did in game number 2, I think that Tribe are on their way to victory in just one more short game.
Well, could be the final round right now. Tribe versus Clash. Gonna bring no further changes to the comps. They're still gonna stick with it. Actually, Guille moving in with the Jackie this time instead of the Carl could give him an edge in the matchup against Tom.
Interesting brawler clump swap here. Clash EU needing that heavy firepower right out in front, and with a beefy brawler like Jackie, they might have just found their way in. Guille not making a charge just yet, though. Instead of be playing defensive for this Clash EU team up on top, trying to get some corner shots here, but just getting pummeled by Tribe Gaming so far. But it's relatively neck and neck on the brawler damage so far. Neither team really getting much of an advantage to push in.
Oh my god. That was amazing by Semantic to stay alive there, turning around onto the lineup of Clash. Great sweep from Tom. It just leaves Muniz alive. He's got the magic hand and the respawns are coming in, but it will relieve a lot of the pressure they were exerting early onto Tribe.
Gene and Gale both do a lot of long-range damage that can consistently fire away at weakened brawlers and deny them the chance to recover. The fact that you've got such a spread has been so beautiful, but they are canceling each other out on these supers and not really able to get the pull on the brawler that they prefer on the backline now, and Clash is in a lot of trouble, struggling to keep their defenses up against a Tribe Gaming team that's charging in deep.
I was curious what would happen with that interaction when two Genes pull each other at the same time, and I'm glad I got my answer finally. They're going to move in. The pressure was definitely put onto Clash, but there's been a great defense from them, and they were able to force Tribe away. Guille on the side, he's still got himself that ball, forces out the super from Semantic to shut him down. Tom is in hot pursuit, gets him with the pickaxe at max range. This may open it up. Pull out the goal. They're trying to force him away. Great use from Chaos to shut it down, but the super comes in from Tom, and the goal will be scored. One more gives Tribe the win.
Glorious goal by Tribe Gaming, and Clashy, you are now in their final moments trying to survive. Guille makes an epic charge in there, pulls Tom in.
Chaos?
Can Chaos make the goal happen? It does! The equalizer!
Great set piece by Clash there. Great layering of supers to just get him around. They're sending Guille into the back line already with the jump pad. He's going to play around the box instead. 15 seconds remain. Could go into overtime on this one. Tom gets the kill. Great pull. Pushes them back out with the gust as Semantic moves forward. They need the kills to come in. They got an open goal! And Spen seals the deal. Tribe Gaming take out Clash.
Congratulations to Tribe Gaming. An epic comeback attempt from Clash there, but just no reward for Guille using that jump to get far deep behind the Tribe Gaming line of defense. But without those boxes up, there was nothing to position around. An absolute team wipe delivered by Tribe Gaming and an easy walk-in goal to clutch this match. A 3-0 sweep from the Tribe squad, ascendant in the European region.
Hey, credit where credit is true. Tribe Gaming really brought it into that last round of Brawl Ball and made it competitive at the end there with some great set plays. Their goal they scored was a textbook execution of a set piece in Brawl Ball. Fantastic use of supers, great positioning, and using the momentum from kills to get it over the line. Well, that's enough from me and Woody. I'm going to throw it over to Falcone to take us over to the next match.
Oh boy, Clash almost started to... They looked like they were going to make a comeback and at least take a Brawl Ball down, but it wasn't meant to be, as Tribe, after granted a little bit of tripping over themselves, were able to get through. Our MVP for this match is going to be Tom. And Tom primarily played Carl in these matches, which is something a little bit different that we've not seen all that much in the monthly finals. With Carl sneaking around, getting consistent damage with the super and with the regular attack, and then really dealing that damage at the end to take down the safe in Heist. In Gem Grab, switch it up to Tara, and just consistently throw out super after super. With the super, the damage itself, and with the healing star power, they did not allow Clash to get any leeway whatsoever. And then finally, back to Carl for Brawl Ball. And yes, there were a few mishaps on the team, but Tom, from what I could see, was incredibly consistent, constantly dealing with all of the players at the enemy goal and setting up for these free goals to be scored. There you have it. That is going to be a big victory from Tribe. And sadly for Clash, that is going to leave them in last place this time. Not quite the victory that they were hoping for, but now obviously here is the exciting one. The match for the winner. As you can see, CODEMAGIC Purple, Tribe Gaming both sitting 1-0 with the same set score. It all comes down to this next match. It is going to be the big one, the one to decide who is going to win in Europe. It is going to be CODEMAGIC Purple up against Tribe Gaming. And oh man, I do not know which way this is going to go. Both of these teams were able to dominate Clash. Tribe Gaming are a little bit newer when it comes to their consistency in competitive Brawl Stars. They have a long way to go to catch up with CODEMAGIC Purple in terms of points. Are they up to the challenge? Well, I guess we are going to find out very soon. Here are the teams won last time today. We have Tribe Gaming. It's Spen, Tom, and Semantic. Spen said to me this week that although he knows it's going to be tough work and an uphill battle, He believes that Tribe do have what it takes to finish in top 3 in Europe and qualify for global finals. Tribe have also been scrimming against CODEMAGIC and CLASH a lot this month. They believe they know exactly what to expect from those teams. Well, they've proven they know what to expect from CLASH. But how will that continue into the next team? We have CODEMAGIC Purple, Cursed, Jetton, Twisty Twig, and Sun Bentley. Cursed said this week that because this team is so ahead, they feel both more and less pressure. More because he knows that there's a lot expected of them, but slightly less because he knows if they do mess up a little bit, they should still be qualifying. Twisty Tick joined the team last month just before the monthly finals, and then the team immediately won. Perhaps he was the final piece of the puzzle. Perhaps the team are unbeatable now. Well, we are going to find out with the final match of the day coming up right now.
Thank you very much, Falcone, and things are about to get really real now because Tribe and CODEMAGIC Purple have battled it out time and time again, and it has never been anything other than close, Woody.
This is such an evenly scaled match that I think it's going to be the best one of the entire day today. Tribe Gaming and CODEMAGIC Purple went down to the wire last month in the June finals. There was a 3-2 victory for CODEMAGIC Purple. This month, it's anyone's match. CODEMAGIC Purple, the #1 ranked team globally, are going to be ahead of Jupiter after the end of today. But will they be able to hold on to an undefeated streak against a Tribe Gaming team that looks so strong?
Yeah, it really does. And worthy to note there as well, the bans being Gale and Max, and Gale being banned here for me is a very big deal. We've seen Gale being used in the majority of our games on the EU side of things today, so having Gale out of the mix will make a big difference to how these games play out. But the first map up is going to be Stonefall. Now, if my memory serves me correctly, Woody, Curse was smashing it on Stonefall last time playing Frank, right?
I do believe you're right about that. And CODEMAGIC Purple, having picked up wins in Stonefort before, are, I think, the favorite going into set #1. Tribe Gaming and CODEMAGIC Purple both picked up 3-0 wins over CLASH this month, though. So I can't really say which team is on an upward trajectory relative to the other. They're both looking extremely strong. If we look all the way back to April, though, we got a little bit more data to crunch with CODEMAGIC Purple. We've seen Brawl Ball, Bounty, and Siege be their stronger game modes. Gem Grab and Heist are both sets that they've dropped in the past. So with that being said, I guess we have a reset now, and I wonder whether you think Tribe or CODEMAGIC Purple might have the edge in this final match of the day, Ark.
Honestly, I've been following the journey of both of these teams this entire year, and there's been a lot of changes. But for me, both of them are right at the top of their game right now. You know, Tribe came in a bit late, to be fair, with some team changes, but now they are really finding their rhythm. And it really does always seem to come down to the final set every single time I watch these two teams play in a best of 5, best of 3. Cursed is bringing it out. The Mortis again, very early stages. What do you make of that, Woody?
Super aggressive, and that's just what you love to see from these two squads that know each other so well and are not really willing to give up a single inch here. Whoever gains control of the mid early tends to get a big advantage in this Gem Grab map, and so far that's going to be Tribe Gaming setting up in the center. But hold on, because CODEMAGIC Purple are going to be getting those Robo Porters, and they're starting to whack away here. Spending a lot of trouble on the backside as Mortis gets the kill, but the return fire from Tom is going to give a big lead to Tribe Gaming. 8 gems in their pocket.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I don't know whether Mortis is the ideal brawler against this comp. Poker can heal, Pam is tanky, and Tom can evade, so it's going to be tricky. I do kind of feel like this could be the end of the Mortis streak. We'll have to wait. What? Say that on Tom. I might be eating my words right here, right now, Willie.
Take them and shove them down your face. There is no way that you can say Curse didn't get rewarded that time. Mortis gets a beautiful kill on the back line and will be retreating safely into his own little pocket there. A nice little pin drop there at the last second to give Cursed the BM win.
I gotta say, I feel like by saying that I jinxed it, and we survived the Mortis mortality rate, Woody. And I'm gonna take full credit for that, absolutely.
100% win rate. The Mortis curse is still alive. CODEMAGIC Purple taking game number 1 against a Tribe squad that fought hard, but wow, the early lead means absolutely nothing when you lose all your gems in such a sneaky play like that.
Yeah, I gotta say, I did feel like Curse was gonna struggle. It wasn't the ideal matchup that he would have liked, and they did capitalize. I think the star power there as well came into play. Running Core Snake definitely gave him a bit of an edge to close the gap quicker. But a great steal from CODEMAGIC Purple. But again, it's very, very early days. It was a bit of a off-the-cuff kind of brawler comp decision. Still very much more to come in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, and when you're playing a Mortis like that, you're really hoping that you get up against a sniper or some sort of thrower. Poco was really the only point of vulnerability for the Tribe Gaming squad there, but I guess Tom overplayed his hand. You saw Carl often getting the win against Mortis, but not that time around, and instead, Cursed is going to be going back to a bit more standard pick here, going up in the Carl v. Carl at the left side of the map.
Yeah, mirror combo from the Pam versus Tara lane there. Do like the Tara pick for me. Being able to pop Gadget and see where your opposition lies within those bushes can be very, very advantageous in Stonefort.
All right, we're going to be relatively even once again, but a setup over here on the right side from Semantic. It's going to give the edge. Tribe Gaming in the middle field for control. Cursed making another really risky stab down here at the bottom, but it's going to be an even trade of these two Carls. Advantage out for Sun Bentley if he can get back with those gems, but he's not looking too healthy. Taken down. Twisted Twig finished off right after. Semantic with the lucky number 7 gems in his hands.
Semantic was like the lone survivor. I think every single person went down aside from Semantic in that battle for those gems. But it is going to be Tribe on 9 now. Twisty will be doing all he can now to deter Tom from the center of Curse with support. But Semantic here, popping down turret, might be able to get a play here if Sun doesn't take him down. But Semantic low. I think Tribe will just hang on here, but it's a risky maneuver here from Tribe.
Semantic flexing his muscles as he drops another healing turret to stay just barely alive through that onslaught dropped by CODEMAGIC Purple. Pulling him in with a super, and lots of shots from Mr. P were not enough to finish off Pam. She will hold on to the gems, and that's going to be a win for Tribe Gaming.
Yeah, so Tribe Gaming looking to bring it back then. We're now 1 game each. Whoever wins the next game will take the first set. But gotta be honest, as long as there's not a Mortis being played out, I'm completely unbiased and anything goes for me.
Hey, I can't blame him, though. It might have been a little bit of a cheesy play by CODEMAGIC Purple off of game 1, but they were well rewarded for it, and those are the sneaky sort of strats that you love to see grab the win every now and then. Even fans of Tribe Gaming have got to tip their hat to the CODEMAGIC Purple guys, especially Cursed for making that happen. But with the equalizer now, it's anyone's match. This evenly paced squad between Tribe Gaming and CODEMAGIC Purple is really fun to watch, and with the third game coming up soon, we'll get a sense for which team is going to get that first advantage here in the match.
Yeah, I would like to see a little bit more from Twisty. I think that for me, Tara is a great brawler choice here, but Semantic doing a fantastic job of staying firm on that lane. Not an easy 1v1 interaction there, really, to really manage. But, you know, if Twisty can time his supers wisely and kind of capitalize there, then he could create some opportunities there for his team. But are you expecting any kind of like brawler comp changes to be appearing in the next game, Woody?
Not really. I think Tribe and CODEMAGIC Purple have both kind of equalized here. CODEMAGIC Purple made that early... Never mind! They're going back to Mortis. CODEMAGIC Purple have just completely flipped the board once again and are going to be running Poco, Tara, and Mortis this time. Same brawler setup for Tribe Gaming, but CODEMAGIC Purple are going to be rewriting the script.
I can't believe this is happening. Okay, and it does seem to be paired with a much different comp to last time as well. The Slambulance Mortis comp, we're going to have to name this at some point, but yeah, this is going to be very, very interesting to see how this one goes down.
Nice setup here in the center for Tribe Gaming, using that healing turret to stay topped off and healthy. A little bit of a gym advantage for them as well. Twisty Twig making a charge in here and dropping some more plant, but not getting very much support from his teammates. He's going to have to rely on some stabs from Cursed, and cornered now. Semantic has got no escape route. That's going to be a huge lead for CODEMAGIC Purple. 8 gems in their hands, and the last few remaining seconds needed to get that 10th one. Can they hold on to control of the mid?
Just a little bit more time to hang on now. I'm christening this comp the Slavulence Slice and Dice. I feel that would be appropriate here. CODEMAGIC 1 gem away now, and Sun feeling it out with Twisted does get the gem. And look at this CODEMAGIC Purple, 15 seconds away from taking the first ever. Twisty goes down, resetting.
Oh no!
Really in trouble as well. Tribe going in for the steal here, and Spen gets a ton of gems for the spawn. Curse goes down as well. The turnaround here. No! The Mortis success rate is going rapidly down the drain, Woody.
Just the last second juke there from Sun Bentley. He thought he could grab another gem and stay healthy, but the push from Tribe Gaming would not be denied. Sun Bentley giving up that huge treasure trove of gems has given Tribe Gaming another chance to keep this countdown going. Can Semantic survive? Barely, but alive. 10 gems in their hands. Tribe Gaming take the first set.
Cast, what have you done, my brother? The Slavulence Slice and Dice has ruined the 100% success rate of Mortis. It's F in the chat, boys. F's in the chat.
All good things must come to an end, and so it remains, with the Mortis win rate at 100%, now knocked down. The loss from CODEMAGIC sure to send shockwaves through the competitive community. This popular pick from Mortis just won't be the same ever again, Ark.
I don't feel that I'll ever be the same again, Woody. I'm struggling to come to terms with what we've just witnessed.
Do you need a moment?
I might need just a little bit of one.
Well, I'm sorry, we've got no time to rest. It's penalty kick next. The Brawl Ball map is going to be reset now with a chance for CODEMAGIC to return fire. They were able to pick up a Brawl Ball win back in April when we saw them take the loss in the match overall. So this is definitely a set that they've got familiarity with. They've got great synergy through their squad and a high level of communication that has played out really well for them in the past. I think that if you're going to see them pull back, now is when they make that happen. CODEMAGIC Purple going up against Tribe Gaming, and a Brawl Ball set starts right now.
Yeah, it's a map that opens a lot of doors. We've seen Curse throughout the Frank card. Actually, we're going to see Semantic throwing out the Frank card this time around. I think from memory, it didn't serve Curse too well, so we'll have to see if Semantic can make it count, and he does seem to be doing so.
Oh!
Stun straight off.
What?
What amazing plays, early on plays from Tribe Gaming in Brawl Ball. Wow.
You lose with Mortis and your team is just, they've got the curse on them now. CODEMAGIC Purple have just been obliterated in that first exchange, with Tribe Gaming wiping out those defensive lines. And wow, what a play from Spen. Knocks it in again. Semantic, the star player here. Frank has smashed through these defenses and gave Tribe a stellar, really quick win.
Someone needs to tell Tribe just to calm down. Just calm down. Take a chill pill. You're doing far too well. You're cracked, boys. You're cracked. Just take it. Calm it down.
Stop beating him. He's already dead. Tribe Gaming, hot off their set 1 win, are taking game number 1 in spectacular fashion. CODEMAGIC Purple fans are shaken. Their jimmies have been rustled, and I don't know if there's any way for them to survive.
Yeah, I think that, despite the comp working really well for Tribe, I think we're going to probably see like a slightly slower pace game next, maybe. I don't want to jinx it again, as we've done far too many times today, but I think Double Mr. P might come into play here. The Frank card is normally one that is well played in the first instance, but the second instance doesn't really pay, tribute to the first. So we'll have to see whether that is a brawler which comes out of the pack again, but great plays from Tribe. Wow.
The dream from CODEMAGIC Purple quickly turning into a nightmare. These demons from beyond from the Tribe Gaming squad will not be denied their chance at glory. But it's going to be Twisty Twix switching it up now with the El Primo pick. Heavy fighter out in front is going to be trying to bash down this semantic push, but wow, just barely hanging on for dear life, having to knock the ball back to give Tribe a chance to respawn and regroup as they make their next push happen.
Yeah, this is, for me, kind of smart from Tribe, just looking to get the super, get the super they do. Didn't quite connect, but Semantic will be looking to cycle back quickly in order to break that mid area, and Twisty popping his gadget to cancel out Tom there, but you know, this is going to be interesting to see whether CODEMAGIC can continue this pressure and push up on this spawn and just keep Tribe in their place. It's a great spot. Twisty has super. That will come into play when it comes to this defensive line.
Yeah, one of the heaviest boxing players in the game. El Primo can deal a ton of damage, especially to a brawler like Frank, but we didn't see that pick from CODEMAGIC Purple this time, but wow, with such a heavy hit point pool, El Primo's gonna walk it over uncontested.
A lovely bit of flair there, son, with the ricochet super pass, and then it was finalized, and CODEMAGIC starting to get the momentum a little bit now that the Frank wildcard pick is kind of beyond them and past them now, and the Tribe now will be looking to capitalize Spen, looking to get a pull through this mid area here, and I think an equalizer could be on the cards.
We don't have much way to bust down these walls, and CODEMAGIC Purple's defenses are holding up as a result, but angled attacks from the left and right, Tom and Semantic both pulverizing the defenses here. Big hits and a pull against that Sun Bentley now, taking down the Mr. P. There's not a whole lot left to defend. That's a team wipe! Tribe Gaming equalize!
Great pinch there from Tribe. It's got to be said. They did a fantastic job just to kind of ensure that they held strong, and there was nothing that CODEMAGIC Purple could do in that instance. So, yeah, fantastic to see from them.
You get one goal ahead and you start to think all you got to do is play defense. That doesn't work against a team like Tribe Gaming. High damage output knocks the CODEMAGIC Purple back on their heels, but they're going to come back swinging. They're already pushing into the Tribe Gaming side of the map with overtime counting out now. They don't have a chance to make that goal attempt here, but they are definitely holding their own in the midfield.
Yeah, Semantic putting down like an early healing spirit there on the map. It was taken down, but nonetheless, it's definitely going to be, I think, a good spot for Tribe to start to push up early on, and we'll see how CODEMAGIC Purple doing the defense.
Oh, that pull
here, taken down here, and CODEMAGIC Purple advancing on Tribe at the same time. Semantic with the stuck, the pass, the great.
No! Can't get the goal in! CODEMAGIC Purple get the kills, but no reward on the score count. Sends off a fired shot, but Toxic Tom, the goalie of the century, gets the catch, and we are still at the 1-1 scoreline.
My goodness, though, what an opportunity there for CODEMAGIC Purple, and Tribe now looking to advance. Spen's got pulling pulse on again. Semantic now is going to be one hit away from super. Surely he is. This could be devastating for CODEMAGIC Purple. The super passes there from top. It is Semantic. The final second. My goodness me, cutting it fine would be an understatement, Woody.
Tribe Gaming putting the L in El Primo. Twisty Twick has been rebuffed, and this Tribe squad have taken set number 2. What is happening with this team? Tribe is on an absolute rampage, storming through this qualifier and looking far and ahead the favorite to take this match now.
Yeah, the momentum right now is absolutely on form, and we've seen, like I said earlier today, very close games between these two teams, taking it down to the 5th and final set more often than not. But today, it seems the tide is changing, and the momentum now very much with Tribe as we go into the 3rd set. Now, CODEMAGIC Purple have got to do something. They've got to make a change. They've been getting wins, but not winning sets, and that is what Tribe are doing better right now.
Hey, you could be neck and neck, but if you're just an also-ran, where's the fun in that? You want to be the one at the top of the leaderboard, getting those wins, racking up those world qualifier points. And for CODEMAGIC Purple to be down 0-2 right now, one of the world's top teams getting knocked off their pedestal is a huge storyline for this qualifier. July has seen some big changes in the competitive scene, and we might see the final blow delivered here and now by Tribe Gaming. This bounty game mode is going to be starting up now.
Yeah, absolutely. You're very right to mention the scoreboard there, because Tribe are looking to really bring things back into play. Clash had a bad day today. They didn't qualify for next month's monthly final as well. Worth remembering. So Tribe have. So they're absolutely now in a great spot to really put the pressure on SK Gaming, who will be seeing next month as well, to see which of these three teams are going to be advancing from Europe. And Sprout coming out for both Sun and Semantic here, both feeling like that is going to give them the edge in bounty.
Yeah, there's only 3 teams that will advance from Europe, a big region with a lot of competition, but Tribe Gaming is below the cusp right now. Clash EU and CODEMAGIC Purple in the top 2 spots, looking to hold on to it with their performance this month. But SK Gaming showing a little bit of weakness, not qualifying for this month, means that Tribe Gaming really need to capitalize with a win here. Picking up a 3-0 is just what the doctor ordered.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, Tribe are having a great day, but can they secure this? Now, it's worth mentioning we did see this exact same scenario happen just last month or the month prior to that, and the reverse sweep happened. CODEMAGIC did turn it around, so they've been here before. Is today going to be deja vu, or are Tribe about to break that cycle?
Semantic looking healthy out the back, popping a gadget to stay topped off, but Sun Bentley is continuing to fire down on him. Drops a super and it's trying to get the cornering shot here. Tribe Gaming being forced back into their own spawn, but it's a 4-4 draw for both teams. Neither one of them really willing to commit to make that last shot happen. Spen takes a super blow at the enemy, firing off that rocket rain, doesn't get the kill he was looking for, and with that, CODEMAGIC Purple going to make one last little stab in here, diving in, trying to take out Tom, but he's got so many hit points, I don't know if they can finish him off. Wow, Tom barely surviving.
Tom there on 700 HP. In fairness, Tom has been playing a very good Carl today, but right at the end of that game mode, definitely was looking like it could have gone either way. But nonetheless, it's a draw. We're going to be replaying things out, and Tribe dodged the bullet there.
Yeah, a bit of a yikes from me, but hey, if he manages to pull it off and it makes for a more exciting match, I'm all for it. Tom, you got to be careful, man. You're making my heart palpitations worse. There's caffeine stacked on top of it. I don't know if I could survive this gameplay.
I'll take the hit for that. It's probably me, again, putting a fair shade of predictions that would probably therefore jinx things. But nonetheless, we're going to reset here, and we're going to still see Tom playing Carl and Semantic and Sun duking out on the side with the Sprout pick, but it is Semantic that's going to come out on top, giving Tribe the early lead.
Semantic's trapped. He's behind enemy lines. He's got that super from Sun Bentley that's got him in the corner. Sun Bentley going in for the KO. Can he finally finish him off? What's taking so long? Semantic all the way on the enemy side of the spawn, but finally they get the hit, and CODEMAGIC Purple will pull ahead.
Look at Tom here in a really tight spot. Pitch between Twisty and Sun Bentley for the takedown. It's 6 stars ahead now. 6 stars, on the board for CODEMAGIC Purple. 4 stars in the lead. Actually, no, there again, jinxed it again, Woody. We're now 6 stars in the lead for CODEMAGIC Purple, and Tribe have not got their momentum yet.
Fortune favors the bold, but not when you make it all the way into the enemy range there. You saw Tribe Gaming trying to echo back and get a kill to even things up, but were just punished even further. Semantic and Tom both being walloped out on the top right side of this map, and Tom going in alone once again. Sun Bentley going to shut him down, and that is a clear advantage for CODEMAGIC Purple. I don't see any way of Tribe Gaming making the comeback happen.
Yeah, it's really not kind of working out for Tribe. They're not really kind of pushing as a team to take down individuals. Rather, they are going as individuals. But Spevler could take down. It's going to bring the stars a little bit more to the balance of Tribe. But I do think it might be a little bit too late here. It's going to take a lot. It's going to take Sun and Curse to go down here in 10 seconds. I don't really see it happening, Woody.
A 6-star disadvantage. Tribe Gaming need to make a monster push right now, but with Tom being finished off, that is going to be it. Back to the spawn zone and no way to catch up in time. It is a huge win for CODEMAGIC Purple. Just what they needed to start off a second win.
Be the start of it again. We've been here in the past, and actually on both sides of the coin, I'm pretty sure that Tribe have got the reverse sweep over CODEMAGIC Purple as well. But it was, for my memory, best served that it was CODEMAGIC Purple that did it first. So at the moment, you know, anything's still to play for. We're not yet on match point. Tribe have not yet reached match point, so you know, it's all open for the taking if CODEMAGIC Purple can just continue this line and dig deep.
Well, on the upside, fans of Sprout are finally getting a chance to see that brawler in the arena, but closing off any lines of escape, you're seeing really how that brawler can be used to maximum effect in Bounty. We saw a lot of tick in past Bounty matches just with that long-range damage. Sprout kind of plays a similar role, but with brawlers playing so cautiously, not willing to commit very far at all, being able to close off an enemy line of retreat is super valuable. And as we saw time and again that last game, CODEMAGIC Purple using that super to great effect, pulling off the win in game number 2.
Yeah, we haven't really seen Tick kind of thriving since the introduction of Sprout. I mean, Sprout is definitely, in my opinion, more favored as a brawler with that potential to kind of like dominate the control of the map. And what are we seeing here? Double ball. What? It's rare that we even see a Mortis pick. Well, not these days, to be fair, but now we're seeing both Twisty and Semantic both thinking the same thing. And I guess there's less at stake now as Curse has already ruined that for everyone.
No more 100% win rate, so you don't have to worry about it dropping below 100 this time either. But an early kill from Twisty Twick is returned by Semantic, grabbing that revenge kill. It's not going to be a 3-3 tied score overall. CODEMAGIC Purple having picked up the star to begin with. It's going to be an advantage now for CODEMAGIC Purple just off the fact that Semantic is holding on to an additional star on the field.
Yeah, exactly that. And now it's going to be a real testament to these players. You know, for me, Semantic and Twisted got to be very, very cautious here. Going so close to your opposition to gain a star can very much turn the tide. And you know, I kind of worry for them a little bit because their aggression is going to be either rewarded or penalized in that respect. So.
RoboPorter set up now for CODEMAGIC Purple up top and Tribe Gaming on the bottom, both pushing into their enemy zone, but it looks like the advantage for Tribe Gaming here and now as an attempt from Twisty Twig is going to be rebuffed. The gadget used by Spin on the bottom will push back Twisty Twig. No kill yet for either team, but CODEMAGIC Purple looking like they're in a bit of a tricky spot here, getting surrounded on the bottom by Tribe Gaming, but finally pushed back now.
Yeah, Tom having a bit of issues there with the Mr. P super coming in low. Healing, though, nicely as well. And Spen going to put down that super. Semantic takes down a pesky Porter.
Thomas trapped.
Yeah, trapped. And now capitalized by CODEMAGIC Purple. 2 stars in the lead. Semantic going in on Curse. Can he finish this kill? He goes down. CODEMAGIC Purple now then will take a set and can breathe a sigh of relief. Whew.
Sweet job there to CODEMAGIC Purple, picking up the bounty win off of 2 dominating showings from Tribe Gaming, giving them one more shot at redemption. CODEMAGIC Purple having picked up some pretty unfortunate plays with Mortis are finally given a chance at claiming victory here now in this bounty game. And take a look at the scoreline now. It actually looks a lot more decisive than the games looked themselves, but CODEMAGIC Purple really far and ahead in set number 3. Have finally got a pickup of support here now.
Yeah, having Bounty actually be a game mode to appear on the 3rd set is often a good thing if you're behind, because you have a bit more control of the outcome. If you're, you know, in the lead, you can be more passive. If you're behind, then you can be more aggressive, whilst being cautiously aware that if you mess that up, you're going to create a much wider gap in the stars. But and again, Siege as well, another great mode to be on the 4th set because of the potential RNG value, but also the ability to control, and that's what CODEMAGIC Purple now are going to have to do in this next game is look to control the mid ground, get these bolts banked, and just maintain that dominance after the push. That's what's going to separate themselves from Tribe here and will allow them to take it to the 5th and final set.
A bit of weakness shown by Tribe Gaming, the first set that they've dropped from this month so far, but we haven't seen either team go to a fourth set yet. They both got 3-0 victories over Clash, and so now we're finally getting the first look into what they're going to be doing in this siege mode. It's going to be an olive branch offered, but these warriors will refuse it. One team must chug ahead to victory. Will Tribe Gaming get that third and final win that they're looking for, or has CODEMAGIC Purple started a reverse sweep that kicked them off of the playing field back in April?
Yeah, this is the thing that now Tribe have got to stay composed. They've got to just focus on getting this wrapped up, because as we've seen in the past, CODEMAGIC Purple, once they start to feel confident, they will use that and they will start to grow from that. So I think that if CODEMAGIC Purple can get through this set, then that could deflate Tribe quite considerably. It's really important that Tribe finish this now. That is what I see as being a very important factor here to consider.
Certainly agree with you there. Just to remind you, CODEMAGIC Purple did pick up the 3-2 win last month over Tribe Gaming, so this squad is really used to going down to the wire against a hotly contested opponent. If CODEMAGIC Purple get the win here, they've effectively put themselves really far ahead and maybe even out of range to a Tribe squad that did not qualify for next month. CODEMAGIC Purple, if they are victorious, would cement their spot in first place on the global leaderboard and be able to walk away with their opponents maybe out of contention.
Exactly that. And Semantic forced down there. Cursed and Sun working together well, but it is going to be a Tribe push first and foremost. A level 2, but that control that they will gain after the push is finished, important to maintain, and might cause CODEMAGIC Purple to struggle to get out of their spawn. It's actually a fair bit of damage for just a level 2 bot. Wow.
Yeah, really tight walls in the center of this arena have given Sprout on either side a great opportunity to close in and deny access to that hill zone there. This is basically a king of the hill map with most of the bolts spawning right there in the middle. Actually, I take that back. There are a lot of them spawning on the exterior now, just due to RNG, but advantage now for CODEMAGIC Purple as they're looking to grab that second siege bot. Cursed is getting some nice and lucky spawns out on the right side there, and we'll get to push with this level 6 coming in.
Yeah, and you know what? Actually, a really important round there for CODEMAGIC Purple to get this push underway, knowing that Tribe have got 5 bolts in the bank for the final rounds. Very important time for CODEMAGIC Purple to capitalize here.
And they are doing it. Cursed is supporting this bot, which is still really healthy, punching away at the Icon. Barely no defense at all from Tribe Gaming, instead trying to take control of the midfield here and get that third and final siege bot. They've got a 3-bolt advantage, but can they hold on to it? Sun Bentley is grabbing some more bolts in the center, and CODEMAGIC Purple are looking strong. I don't know if Tribe Gaming can make the comeback happen.
Yeah, a really, really commendable attempt there from Curse. That right-hand side getting double pressure from Tribe, but now does go down, and 7 in the bag for Tribe as CODEMAGIC trying to equalize, but it's going to be Tribe with the final push, and can they make enough damage? They're going to need at least 50% or so in order to... A pull is going to delay the bot. It's coming down to this.
I don't know if that's enough. Sun Bentley can't keep up the defenses long enough, and the bot's on the Ike. That's going to be way more than Tribe Gaming needs, eliminating the Ike and claiming victory in game number 1 to put this up to a match point.
Wow, we are now potentially 1 game away from wrapping up today. So my goodness me, I just want to take this opportunity to say a massive thank you to ESL and Supercell, just in the event that Tribe do wrap this up as quickly as it might happen, as it's been a joy continuously doing these streams month after month, and incredibly exciting for us to watch. And again, to you, William, to Tridd and the whole team, I love you guys. I love you.
Of course, I'll echo all of your appreciation there. Congratulations to Tribe on picking up that match 5 win and coming in range of defeating CODEMAGIC Purple now with just possibly 1 more game to do it. Also want to say happy July the 4th, Independence Day to all my fellow Americans out there, and hope that y'all are having a wonderful weekend. Stay safe and stay inside and keep those masks on if you're going outside. We're going to be starting up with game number 2 now in this 4th set. Tribe Gaming with an opportunity to finish it all here and now.
Such an important moment for Tribe. If they can just hang on now and not let this slip, then this will be a huge outcome for them in terms of points and going forwards to next month. Such an important moment for them to just gain and just keep that composure now. A couple of changes here. We're going to see Barley, Curse going down on that right-hand side. It's going to mean that it's going to be a push actually for CODEMAGIC Purple. Can now CODEMAGIC Purple just hold? Tom popping Gadget as well, slowing the bot.
And the defenses look pretty strong here. Tribe Gaming going to take a few punches, but they will stay standing down to 81%, which is a bit above average, I think, for the first bot, but nothing that Tribe can't come back from at this point. Advantage, however, for CODEMAGIC Purple is going to be that center control that they were able to get with that bot pushing in. Big super from Tom is dodged by every CODEMAGIC player, and it's a big opportunity now for CODEMAGIC to deliver a knockout punch. They've got 5 bolts up there now and are virtually guaranteed to get this second siege and contain control of the middle. Tribe Gaming struggling to get those bolts up.
Yeah, it does seem like this is a bit of a struggle this time around for Tribe. Maybe the pressure getting to them, potentially Spen going to use Wall there to redirect the bot, just taking away some valuable push time, allowing him to respawn in. Tom going to pop the Gadget, but again, like, there's 6 bolts in the bank for Tribe. Even if they defend this, they're going to have to maintain some form of control because CODEMAGIC Purple can actually take the round away from them there.
CODEMAGIC really heavily committed to that push, but they didn't get the Ike down. That's going to leave them really in a precarious spot now. They had to get basically every bolt that spawned in this last round in order to deny Tribe Gaming a siege bot, and with that little bit of weakness, you're seeing Tribe Gaming pick up bolt after bolt. They're virtually guaranteed this final siege, but will it be enough to overcome this big damage advantage that CODEMAGIC Purple has put up with the first 2?
Yeah, Tribe are going to get around here for sure. It's just now whether they can stay alive and commit to this push. It's like an all or nothing thing. Tribe are either going to take it or CODEMAGIC Purple are going to take it to the 3rd set of siege. 10 seconds now remaining. It's looking like a good push from Tribe here, Woody.
I think it is. The siege bot's made it all the way in and pummeled the Ike below 30%. Tribe Gaming have done it. The champions of this region taking a 3-1 win over CODEMAGIC Purple, wiping the board clean.
Wow, Tribe just came today bringing the fire and are making now CODEMAGIC Purple not look like they will be able to reverse sweep them anymore. Tribe today victorious. Fantastic day for them. They will definitely be celebrating this evening, no doubt about it.
Big changes across the leaderboard landscape now as Tribe Gaming has defeated the #1 global ranked team CODEMAGIC Purple, knocking them down a size as they will emerge with the first place spot here in this European region. Congratulations to this squad. They have got a future ahead of them yet.
Yeah, really, really exciting games today. But make sure, guys, that you tune in tomorrow for more games from other regions. We're going to head on over now to Falcone just to wrap up the day.
Oh, wow, they have done it. Tribe Gaming took down CODEMAGIC Purple. Tribe Gaming, I think we'll all agree, came in as a little bit of an underdog in this group, but they showed a dominating performance, not even going to the last set. We are going to award MVP to Semantic for that last one. With a lot of gameplay with Pam, but I want to highlight as well that little one cheeky game with Frank where the one game of Brawl Ball was ended almost immediately thanks to Frank destroying everything and stunning everything in its path. But yeah, back with Gen Grab, with Pam, Semantic was able to stabilize and just stay alive with those gems, unable to be toppled. You see the Brawl Ball highlights one more time there as well. And then finally, a little bit later on, in Siege, we saw Semantic both with Sprout and also with the other brawlers as well. Semantic actually dabbled around with a few of them there, but we did see Semantic with Sprout do a lot of damage, get a lot of damage done in Bounty as well. It wasn't quite good enough, but here you see, that's right, Semantic went back to Pam and was just able to really wail on the Ike there, dealing serious amounts of damage at the end, taking that one down. And now Tribe, looking like they're in a good spot. Again, granted, Tribe has still got some catching up to do compared to the other European teams there. But here you go. Tribe 2-0 match score, 6-1 set score. They are taking the first place spot in the European group, which means all that is left for today is to take a look at the prize pool and then what the scores are like now overall for the entire region. Let's start with the prize money. Let's start with the prize pool. As Tribe are taking home $9,000. CODEMAGIC with $6,000, of course, as usual. Clash, third place team, $4,000. Of course, we like to reward our teams for qualifying in the first place, but $9,000 for Tribe. They must be happy about that one. But what they're going to be even happier about is how they are tiptoeing closer for a chance to qualify for the global finals. There they are, coming up in 4th place with 180 points. Still significantly behind CODEMAGIC Purple, but catching up with SK Gaming and catching up with Clash EU as well. The next few months are going to be really interesting for Tribe in particular. But we are passing that hurdle now. We're over the halfway point, and it's getting to that point where unfortunately the teams that are lower down on the leaderboards, it's much less likely that they're going to be able to qualify for the global finals. But we're only one day down with one to go. Tomorrow, we've got LATAM South, followed by North America and LATAM North. 6 more teams, 6 more matches, plenty to stick around for. So make sure you tune in tomorrow, 4 p.m. CEST. We're going to be live again here at youtube.com, the official Brawl Stars channel. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. But from all of us here at the show, we hope that you have enjoyed the first 2 regions. We'll be back again, 4 p.m. CEST with the other 2 regions. See you then.